So I got a really cool gig. I get to travel all over the world for muscle and fitness, bodybuilding and fitness competitions across the globe. And it's been really cool. I've had a chance to interview multiple Mr. Olympia champions. But in all my years of doing this, one thing I haven't had the opportunity to do is actually interview any WWE superstars.
Please welcome Kevin Thorne and Gangrel.
Gentlemen, for coming here tonight. I'm so excited. I'm a lifelong fan of WWE. Kevin Thorne, I'm going to start. I just want to have a few moments of your time.
Oh my nuts!
Yo!
Hey, folks, here we are.
Audio test. Audio test.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing audio.
It apparently says it on OBS, which
Audio.
if you joined me for the last gaming live, you know
Audio.
how well OBS was.
Well, that's probably operator error answer.
Oh yeah,
believe
before
that's
we even
an
gotten
Apple.
started, and an hour and a half into it.
I believe OBS is an Apple product, isn't it?
Let's see. Audio. Can you hear us?
Can you
We're good 20 seconds behind. Loud and clear. Audio's perf.
All
Hello.
right.
Sounds good.
That's what I like to see.
There they are. Yeah, no hoodie. Yeah, no hoodie.
It actually
kidding.
got into the 90s this weekend, so no hoodie for
Unks?
Diamond Dave.
What's up, Unks?
Unks.
All right, it looks like we got some good stuff.
Think of shit.
We got some audio. Audio. Right there.
Oh, a little bit different version of the Unk, but we'll take it nonetheless.
Go ahead and hit it, Quinn.
All right, well, folks, since we're sounding good and you're all here and we're here, somebody call a doctor because Bad Medicine is back. Over there is Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we're celebrating 400K thanks to all of you, and who knows what else we might get into today, but thought we'd have a little fun with it today, and a big thank you to all of you out there for making this happen.
For some of you from our neck of the woods, how was your holiday weekend? You had a long weekend, 3 days off.
I thought the 4th of July was to celebrate Bad Medicine.
Of July.
You got it on what?
For those who
Well,
celebrate.
July?
give or
For
take.
those who celebrate.
Within, yeah.
Hopefully you had a safe and fun time.
Everybody got all their fingers. I got to light off some mortar rounds that, and I don't know how fireworks work for many of you out there, but there's been a progression in the United States of what you're allowed to have. For example, I remember being 10 years old and me and my brothers, and if you were lighting off like firecrackers in the driveway, bam, instantly, whole SWAT team is there to see what's going on. And now you can just go down to any gas station anywhere, at least in Wisconsin, and buy mortar shells that, are about as big as this eraser and drop them in, and you got legit level fireworks going off. So I got to set off, I think we had 10 of those big mortars got to set off this weekend. So that was a lot of fun, and I've still got all my fingers.
You got to make sure those don't tip over.
Yeah, that can be real
It can
bad.
be real dangerous if those tip over. I think there was a pretty bad accident here in Wisconsin last year, the year before. If they tip over, they fire out with such high velocity. But a buddy of mine's dad, a good friend of mine growing up, his dad always had a bunch of mortars at the house, and we would do sleepovers or whatever in the summer. He'd go out in the backyard, had a piece of plywood he laid down just so it was on a flat
didn't
surface.
trust the ground?
No, didn't trust the ground in the backyard.
Also gets angled towards the
And he
house.
would he'd shoot off one of the mortars. I got one of the big like packages you can get from Fleet Farm. It's mostly just fountains and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Nothing crazy, but we were able to do it out in the front yard. or rather out in the road in front of our house, and that was fun. Little guy liked it.
Yeah, these ones we had, they were, so the mortar tube was probably about that big.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, the shell was whatever big around. And I was just shocked when we first lit it off because my brother had gotten them. And like I said, back in the day, you used to have to like go down to Tennessee to like just get like bottle rockets that would do the little, the little whistlers, and then they give you the little pop at the end. But now what you can get is ridiculous. So nonetheless, we were lighting those off, and yeah, it felt like your regular city fireworks they have on the 4th of July. It was way impressive.
Yeah, when we were a kid, we used to go to, my parents had friends that lived out in the country, and then them and their neighbor, they used to every year have what they called the fireworks wars. So they'd each shoot off fireworks to see who can outdo each other. And our group had the quantity, they had the quality. They would shoot it off from their tennis court. Yes, their tennis court. And they would be loud and like you could feel it in the chest. It was great. And then we would end on our side with putting a stick of dynamite in a watermelon and blowing it up. So everyone's like,
That's the way to do it.
Yep.
I'd buy bottle rockets and firecrackers.
But yeah, that was kind of the big topic of discussion this weekend was the type of fireworks that are allowed, and then just what you can get from like any corner Walmart gas station with little pop-up tents. Hey, we're selling fireworks, and yeah, like if you got like $100, you can get some pretty damn impressive mortars. So
Yeah, we got some of the smoke. They used to make the little smoke bombs.
those were my favorite.
Now they got them in the sticks, so that it's it's a stick maybe 12 inches, 14 inches long, and the first half is just a handle, and the second half is all just the smoke. And so you sit there and do.
You got the smoke.
That was one we did with the little guy. We're like, okay, you can hold those. Like I don't know, like. When I was little, they gave us, we did sparklers. You had the little sparklers, and then you had the big ones.
Yep.
And it's like I burnt myself a few times on sparklers.
You don't say. I could easily.
And it's kind of like hard lesson learned, kid.
Yep.
And it's almost like with my 4-year-old, I'm like, okay, do I just, just hand him a sparkler?
Here's
like
a welding rod.
The old free range parenting of the 80s. Give the kid a sparkler. Not what could happen. But so we didn't do any sparklers, but we did the smoke, smoke, and let him twirl that around, which that was fun.
Did you guys ever have bottle rocket wars when you were a kid?
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
You get the copper pipe and shoot them at each other?
No, there was no
we didn't
copper
do that.
pipe. Everyone would.
had
Buddy
to
of
hold
ours had a
you
had a
guys would hold them?
forest.
Yeah.
Where it was in the country, so we had a huge forest around. They would always buy more than 200. You would run to the truck. The game was run to the truck. This is where they're going to be. You run out, you run back here, and then you go out in the woods, and it's basically prey. Now folks, I know what you're saying. In the woods, shooting bottle rockets, fire hazard. Absolutely was. I'm not saying you should do it. It was the dumbest thing in the world for us young kids to do. Don't do it, folks. Highly don't. Don't
We just
recommend that.
light it and throw it onto the ground and then see wherever it went.
Roman candle wars. That's I know people did those.
Oh,
those
yeah.
you can
'Cause
get,
those you could hold and
you can aim them, and if you're more than we're not recommending doing it, but if you're more than 15 or 20 feet away with a Roman candle, you'll get a little red.
Yeah,
but it's not like.
Don't do it.
But I've seen those. I've seen the bottle rockets where you just light it and hold it, wait until the last second, and then throw it up in the air.
Hope it doesn't go this way.
Yeah. So
I used to line up all the toys and get those tanks. Remember the tanks that you could light
Yeah.
up and it
those
would
were
move forward
so
and then it would
cool.
shoot fireworks at it. So I'd try to take out my own toys.
Yeah, we actually had a few of those, and then we had the ladybugs this weekend where they're about that big, and you just light them and they sparkle, but then they shoot up in the air like probably a good 30 feet. Those were
I remember
impressive.
those. Yeah, everything. We didn't get the chance to quite light them all off, so we have a handful left. We'll figure kind of be that annoying neighbor that randomly.
Well, it just seems
lighting off fireworks.
it just seems like the authorities have pretty much given up on trying to stop people from doing illegal fireworks because everybody has it. So yeah, it's always a few days after the 4th. It keeps happening. So hopefully, if you folks have pets and whatnot, hopefully they don't mind too much.
Hey, real quick too. Let's chat about Vin Diesel talking about Fast and Furious, the final film.
Big news.
So I wanna talk to you folks and you folks. He says he's bringing it back to the streets, which finally. It only took several different disasters to get us there, but he says he's listening. So I can't wait to see how that's going to turn out. And then another one is Brian is going to be back in the picture, which we all know his brother Cody, Paul's brother Cody, is going to be
Paul Walker will
doing
return.
something. So I got to imagine now with and folks, what's your thoughts on this? With the CGI compared to 7, I was not thrilled with 7. I know he was, production hell because of the events that took place, and it was mid filming or towards the end somewhere in there. But now I'm curious with all this time, AI, are they going to have a nice budget for, Brian for Cody? I'm kind of curious how this is all going to be wrapped up now, and how essentially that story is going to turn out. Because I feel like it should be very little of Brian, and hopefully that's the case. But I don't know.
Well,
What do you
you've
guys
got.
Thought he could leave without saying goodbye.
Well, I mean, you've got an ensemble cast with these movies, so each individual only needs so much screen time, right? Like we always complained about the amount of screen time that Tyrese and Ludacris had together because they had really good chemistry, but they kind of kept them at like the same level for so many movies. They never got to really elevate their characters beyond just making fun of each other back and forth. So it's always a huge cast. So I'm sure they'll tastefully use Paul Walker in there. I have no doubts about that. I'm sure it'll be fun. But as far as getting back to the streets, let's not forget, we got to get off that dam first with Little B and make sure everything's okay there, the way the last one left off. But I thought they said something about kind of going back to the roots on some of the previous ones, and I don't remember if
Yes, they're going back to the roots
for about 10 minutes,
We will
and
be
then
Outer
they'll
space.
We will be driving old cars.
Well, this one, Vin was very adamant about the car culture. His words, the car culture, back in LA. So
well,
Maybe
we'll
they'll
see
go
how
find
that.
Hector again.
yeah, I mean, it would
Hector
make
better be
sense.
part of
Got
it.
them spoon heads.
Yeah.
Hector better be part of it. I'll be devastated if he's not.
T60 turbos
I
with,
really look if they use Paul Walker for maybe some sort of flashback scene, like some sort of memory or something, like for 2 seconds.
Oh no,
fine.
that's not what's going to be.
Otherwise, they're gonna actually put his fucking. Just leave it alone.
Well, no, see, if you remember, they brought Humphrey Bogart back. I remember this. They brought Humphrey Bogart back for a Tales from the Crypt episode in like the 90s. And it was special effects and you could tell, but they did it. Now we got
Forrest Gump.
Diamond Dave is
Gump.
sending me videos of gorillas talking and running through the jungle and doing
Those are
whatever.
awesome.
I'm sure they'll have no problem bringing Paul Walker's likeness
But that's
to
where
screen.
that's where my issue comes in. It's like,
And, like, if Cody's
it's
playing him, I
still
think it's
like
fine.
I don't know, man. No, it's still.
Well, you got to remember though, they
almost
left
like-
him alive at the end of 7.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's not like
still
he's
there.
It's
off
almost like
screen.
it's
not
still
gone.
too
Still in the
soon.
story.
You know, like if you bring Elvis back or something, fucking cool. You know,
They do Tupac concerts.
wanna
with
bring-
holograms.
yeah, those are. It's not the same thing.
How is it not?
Because
Just because it's
do you
Elvis?
have any fucking? Do you honestly?
You got to watch the F-bombs here. dude.
Okay.
Tasmania
Do you have
Devil
any?
right
Do you
now.
have any confidence
10 minutes
that
in, we're gonna get
that
pulled.
they're going to do anything tastefully or tactfully?
Absolutely.
It's Fast and Furious. What do you-
Absolutely be
Oh
it'll
my
be
God.
tasty.
Okay,
answer your
definition-
question.
First, let's talk about the definition of tastefully in Fast and Furious. Wait, like, what's that mean?
Oh my
let's-
God. I have zero
let's
faith
separate.
in
No,
these
see,
guys.
you have to separate the over-the-top, ridiculous stunts that they do for these movies,
Which
where that's
sounds
their
like
place
they're
in
dialing
Hollywood,
that back if you listen to Vin.
versus how Vin and Tyrese and everybody else, how they felt about Paul Walker and how they wanted to honor him properly. I have zero concerns that it'll be done in a tasteful manner.
They did it already. They pulled up next to each other. He looked over. You had a kind of cheesy, shitty fucking. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'll stop. You had a bad.
You can't
You
stop.
had a bad use of CGI where they looked over and they did the song and they kind of made eye contact and they drove off. That's it. That was your one shot. It's done. You already did it. Now leave it alone.
But then they still have to explain, okay, everybody's in danger and peril, and Brian is like this level 20 character just sitting there doing nothing. Why wouldn't
just
he
sitting
come
at
home
home
and
It's
save
done.
everybody?
It's unsaid. The guy died. They don't need to explain it.
Well,
Just
we
leave
don't know
it
how much
alone.
we're getting. It could be at the end where they get the old family
barbecue
celebration
together.
shot.
Look, if you want to have a
Could
barbecue
be
and
it.
Brian joins in a barbecue, fine.
That's
You know
probably
what?
what's going to happen.
Fine,
for
let
sure.
him join in the barbecue.
Because remember, this is the last
holding
one.
his kid. But if they're going to
Supposedly.
try to work him back into the
Old man Oak. over
again,
here.
I have the whole thing is I have zero confidence in that entire franchise anymore. None. They've gone so far
downhill after,
They jumped the shark so hard.
Tokyo Drift.
It's so hard not to swear right now, just how bad that franchise got.
I would
Fast
disagree wholeheartedly.
Fast Five was good. The last one, you go back and watch the last one where they're riding through the giant ball that's destroying all of Italy, and the things that Charger.
Tom Cruise basically did the same thing in the same place.
And the thing that Charger go through is, and tell me it would still be running.
Okay, well then if that's your line, then tell me how Rick Grimes can run through the street headshotting zombies at a full sprint. That's completely unrealistic as well. So where do you draw the line with your entertainment? That's what I want from these movies. I don't want to leave.
Help me out. Where do we draw the line?
You want to call out for Marvel being like, oh, dude, that can't be over the top.
How about a Fiero?
Marvel can't.
How about a Fiero in outer space? How about a jet that's got magnets and it's going to suck John Cena's car and he's going to drive off the cliff and float, and the magnet jet is going to fly over. Dunk. There's not
By the
anything metal in the
you're
car.
complaining right now. Your last score on the last film was a 4.
Yeah, because it had Jason Momoa in it, and he's sexy.
I bet if we go through your
give it a
50-minute
3.75.
review here, it probably doesn't just say that. But either way, you gave the last one a 4. So
Dave gave it a 2.5?
Skip Oak Bayless over here.
Yeah, it depends on the mood he's in with the score. But look, the thing that I have with the Fast and Furious, and you do make some good points, Oak. However, the whole point of these movies is to be the films in Hollywood that leave nothing on the table. It's like if you were building an engine, you wouldn't leave 50 horsepower on the table.
Why does it have to? Why does it have to be
because
like
that's
that?
their
Why
place.
can't it? Yeah, but
Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible
when did it become
is
their
the more
place?
realistic.
When did they go
Tom
and say,
Cruise
you know
actually
what?
does the stunts.
Screw any sort of realism, any sort of anything. We're just going to go out in left field.
Pretty much,
Well, that's
I would
Hollywood,
say
right?
around
You gotta-
Fast
No,
5.
look, I would Fast
Bring it up.
Five.
When they were dragging the vault, those Challengers or Chargers rather would never be able to pull that safe. They would burn the
Grand
tires
Am.
off. They'd be greasy and slippery.
And if they
you don't
were-
gain any more traction when your tires are spinning.
If they were able to, it wouldn't be that distant.
those tires would have been bald.
Right? It's like
that frame would be so fucked.
So
they
reinforce the whole frame on it. Look,
in a day.
In the day.
All I'm saying
Because of a handprint
is
on an
when
ass, he was able to get the handprint for the
when did
safe.
they have to decide that, you know what, we're going to have a submarine come up through the ice in a Lamborghini on a frozen lake? Like, when did that happen?
When they decided they were going to be the movies that did everything and leave
When they
nothing
decided
left in
when they
terms of being
decided,
wild.
When they
guys,
decided
we're
it was
out
a
of- we're out of
26-mile
stories.
runway.
We're out of stories. The fans who come to see this are.
If they don't go over the top, then they're just a Temu Mission Impossible. If they don't go that next level.
Mission Impossible goes over the top and does it. You don't. You know what? Do not even put Mission Impossible in the same
Why not?
category.
They're basically
as
the
Fast.
same.
They are not even close. You cannot.
Oh,
you did to Vin.
Look what you did to Vin.
You cannot even.
Sorry, Vincent.
Tom Cruise. You could pay Tom Cruise the entire budget, and he would not go into a Fast and Furious movie just because of his reputation. Whatever the budget is for the next one, give it all to Tom.
That's what I'm
and Tom
saying.
would still say, "I'm not doing it, folks. I have standards."
No, you're missing the point. That's
you're
what,
missing the
That's what I'm saying.
Tom said
Mission
he wants to work
Impossible
on it.
is here with like what they do and their level of stunts. They've gotten pretty over the top, but there's still a level of somewhat believability. And with Tom doing most of his stunts, that adds credibility. My point is the Fast and Furious franchise, if they don't go up and over the top and beyond and just have it be wild cartoon level, then they might as
Then
well
why
just
not
be
just
down
go into
there.
science fiction? Why not have Vin
what would you
Diesel
have them
fight?
do?
Why not have
What
Vin
would you have
Diesel?
them
You know
do?
what the next threat is going to be? Aliens from outer space, and the only people that can stop the aliens are two precision
gonna be
drivers. We're
Transformers.
going to have aliens.
I want Vin
from
at
outer
60
space.
years old still
And out of
doing
all-
quarter-mile
forget
races on the streets.
Forget the U.S. military. Forget anybody. The government is going to come to Vin Diesel and Ludacris and their crew to solve a worldwide problem because it has to be off the books.
See what he's doing there, guys? He's creating a straw man argument. Nobody's saying that, Oak. You're making that up just to prove
That's
a
literally
point.
the exact plot. There's some big global threat, and instead of getting a high-level agency SEAL team, Delta
Tom
Force
is busy with
operators,
other stuff.
they go and they get
MI6 is
Vin
busy.
Diesel and
we need two
Ludacris
precision
because
drivers.
Ludacris can hack a safe. And they get that's who they get.
Hey,
to
he's had a
solve
life
global
before you knew
problems.
him.
That's who they get. They get Vin Diesel.
Yep. But well, because otherwise, then what are the movies? If they just stay at that level of Mission Impossible or lower, then what are
he
they?
wanted street races, all 10
Yeah,
movies.
you want all 10 movies just to be
All 10.
racing Evos and Eclipses?
All 10.
Now we have to steal Blu-ray players.
Okay, so how far do you go?
They're to the absolute
Okay,
limit. of ridiculousness.
So is an
I would stop at time travel.
is an
That's where I would
Is
stop.
an alien invasion too much? Is Vin Diesel stopping the alien
Aliens?
invasion too much?
That's,
Think Independence. Think
that's
Independence Day. Except they need Vin
Welcome
Diesel
to Earth.
instead of Will Smith.
That's probably a little too far. I would put that in the same realm as time
And then
travel.
maybe what they could do is they could put a jet engine with wings on the Charger, and Vin Diesel could fly after the aliens like Will Smith in Independence Day.
I'm not sure the aerodynamics for it would work. They'd
Same
probably
dumb
have to put a Reliant Robin on a space shuttle to make it work. But nonetheless,
You really got a good handle of that fishing pole, don't you? Just
wow, this guy's over here making arguments that don't even exist. I got to call him out a little.
What does that mean? Making arguments that don't exist? That sentence.
Because you were making it sound like they are making movies where they go after aliens and Vin has to fly the Charger. You're saying that they're doing that. I'm saying they're not. So you're saying that that's too over the top and ridiculous, which it is, but they're not doing that.
I never said they were doing that. I said that's the next progression. I never said they were doing it. Clearly, they're not doing it. It's not in any of the movies.
yet.
Here we go.
Yet.
Oh my God.
Nonetheless, I'm sure they'll do just fine with
Irregardless.
having Brian back. for
They
the
just
last
need to.
one.
They just need to. They need to. Who's ever directing, writing, everything. They just need to wipe the slate clean and have somebody else come in and have Vin agree to just. I'll just do what you tell me. Because at this point,
Well, that's not happening.
No, it's not happening. It's
the
his
last
baby.
one.
Yeah,
It's
it
his
is.
It's the
project.
last one. So that's not happening.
why do you think the
As of
Rock?
this
Why do you think the
moment.
Rock ducked out of that?
7-7.
The Rock had to be like, all right, guys.
Rock's back in it. Did you forget the post credits?
Yeah, Rock's in there.
Just when you thought he was out, he came running back.
up.
Rock was too busy making Jungle Cruise and other bangers.
We'll see if he actually shows up in part 11.
Did you get paid for it?
God, I hope so. Poor Emily Blunt. She's got to be like, I am one of the best actors in Hollywood, and I'm doing Jungle Cruise.
Look,
How did this
The Rock
happen?
doesn't get a free pass either, by the way.
was in it
Hobbs
too.
and
One of the
Shaw,
best actors
the
in Hollywood.
helicopter.
He was in it.
Helicopter with one arm.
Didn't even tear a bicep.
wouldn't have just torn his arm out of the socket. A helicopter.
He's holding
Well,
it by a
don't
chain,
forget-
to be fair.
Idris's character.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
suit.
he was a
the
cyborg.
whole Hobbs and Shaw, the transforming
He was a cyborg.
motorcycle that went underneath the semi.
If you're gonna just pick on the Rock, you got to pick on everyone in that.
They're
film.
all getting it.
Now, as long
Except
as
Roman Reigns. Our
Roman
tribal
just
chief.
got a paycheck. Good for him.
Oh no!
There we go. We got to make sure we can hear from
plug it in.
when we roll it.
Acknowledge
We
me.
acknowledge Roman Reigns, tribal chief.
He had to jiggle the cord.
they sure could use Roman right now, not to get sidetracked.
Well, he's going to be Baraka. Oh wait, no, Momoa.
he's in Street Fighter.
Momoa is going to be Baraka,
He's in Street Fighter,
Street Fighter.
which I think someone brought up in the comments.
and hopefully
Street Fighter.
Cody Rhodes for Guile.
Oh, we'll see. Well, we've gotten to a point where, and I know we've talked about this before on previous streams, but the video game adaptations of movies have gotten to a point with, CGI and whatever, where when it comes out, you're not instantly thinking, oh God, I hope they don't screw this up. It's gotten to a point like with Super Mario Brothers and a few others where like, oh, okay, this is going to be all right.
That's what it was. Yeah, I mean, they can't all be bangers like Doom.
Well, that's true.
The only scene,
I've never even seen it.
the only good scene in it is they actually do it. They go in first person, like you're actually playing Doom.
Poor
back in the Doom.
Carl Urban.
Other than that, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
And who's the actress?
Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund Pike is in it too.
so-
She's like usually doing like Broadway stuff of like Shakespeare or whatever. Now she's doing this.
So, her agent. All right, I got one for you. All right, it's Doom.
Look, we got to get your insurance for the month. All right, you're gonna have to do this role.
We gotta get you your payment for SAG
Got to keep
membership.
your SAG membership
Oh,
going.
boy,
you're,
but,
you're being too picky lately. We got to send you in on this one.
And then there was another thing here too, folks. There was actually talks about a live action remake of Up.
Oh,
Talks. Why would the fuck would you? Why would you? Why would
Blames
you?
you.
Why would you even have talks about a live action remake of Up.
Well,
you
how
don't
did-
touch that masterpiece.
Hey,
You don't-
Well,
Has
I
How
was-
to Train Your Dragon made $1 billion already?
Dude, that's way different. To me,
Has
that's two
Lilo
different
and
things, though.
Stitch.
Like, yes, the
Or it
How to
was
Train Your
Lilo,
Dragon
yeah.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch.
is like top notch as well.
They
But I
both
feel
came
like
out right at
Up
the same time.
remake, live action remake is one of those that it's
Because you,
every component about that you can argue is pretty much a masterpiece of it.
if
Yeah.
you do
Now,
it,
that you
have
couldn't
to-
say it, not that you couldn't with How to Train Your Dragon, but dude, for me, it's no. Don't even talk about it.
If you
Well, I
do
mean-
Up, you'd have to get the perfect casting for the old man and the kid. You have to, otherwise it
Well,
won't
those
work.
would be two very crucial pieces.
Up live action starring Dwayne Johnson.
That's the old man.
That's the old it'll be fine. Trust me. No, I mean, well, look, I mean, if you're asking for the why is money.
Well, it's money, obviously.
I'm not saying, right or wrong.
And I
would
get
lean
it too.
towards
It's also
wrong.
money, but like probably way down in second place because 1B, 1A, all through it is all money. But then they'd probably be like, all right, we're going to introduce a new generation, like with How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
That argument could be made too. But I'm just curious if you folks would
Up would be-
enjoy or even entertain the idea of a live action Up.
Up would
Pedro
be pretty
Pascal is the old
controversial.
man, and Tom Holland would be the kid.
Pedro's not old enough.
Why? Why?
They
I'm
should
thinking you
touch.
could have Brian Cox as the old man. That would probably work out, huh?
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Ursula, 2x4. from Super Troopers.
That's my car.
You're gonna have Brian
my girl.
Cox as the old man.
Yeah. You got anybody else in mind? I don't.
That's the whole
Or we
thing.
have to
Get
sit
somebody
there.
that, yeah.
Go through a list.
I mean, R.I.P. I would have had Brian Dennehy if I could have had my choice, but
Yeah, see, like I will not entertain it.
Yeah,
Don't, yeah.
somebody said too.
Done with these live action
Yep,
remakes.
they were
yeah.
over remakes 10 years ago. They ruin everything they touch.
and the only remake that the answer and I are sitting here waiting for
Oh,
is for Robin Hood with our Prince John with his crown sucking his thumb. I mean, that's the one we want, right?
I don't mind live action
Animated
remakes.
Disney
Here's my problem with
yeah.
here's my thing with
Love
live
it.
action remakes. People love the originals, right? I understand wanting to see it portrayed with people and whatever. Do it line for line, shot for shot, and everything. Just give us a real version with people, but just do it line for line, shot for shot. Just so it's a different visual experience. Like you feel like you're watching the bird. You feel like you're watching the little kid knock on the door with his pitch. And just have it be line for line. The problem is, and I see there's a lot of commenting on people like ruining the live actions. That's because some asshole comes in and says, yeah, the original one was really good. But what if in this part no, not what if, fucking any, are we far enough in where I can drop F-bombs?
Maybe.
Just don't do anything to it. Just take it, just take it and do it shot for shot, line for line. Let us see the story that we love just with real animals and real people. That's it. Don't do anything. Literally the original script, shot for shot for shot. Don't do anything. Nothing creative. They already did good enough creative. Leave it alone. That's the problem with all these live actions is you get some asshole from the studio, but wouldn't it be cool if we just updated it? No, don't update it. You want to update something? Update your own freaking catalog of scripts and whatever and come out with a new movie. Live action, love it.
Yeah,
Give it to us. Just go shot for shot.
We got two folks, Kirk Ward and Albert. They could.
do
You could talk to them, Disney,
good
and they
work.
have some original stuff. Scripts just waiting to be.
We were so excited for Avatar: The Last Airbender. Fine, we're getting a live action. And they gave us scenes in the preview for Netflix that made it look like it was going to be shot for shot. All you had to do was take the seasons shot for shot. Some asshole at Netflix
then-
He's
decided.
not talking about the M. Night Shyamalan
no,
garbage.
we don't discuss that on this channel.
So if you do what would be the point of a?
Then why do it if
Then
it's just
why
going to be
do
the
it?
The
same
whole
thing?
point is because it's a completely different visual experience. It's like watching. What if somebody did a Rocky cartoon? It was just cartoons boxing. Would you find it as amusing or entertaining? Maybe not. There's a different visual medium when you get to see what looks like real people and what looks like real animals. It's the same thing for Jurassic Park when the first one came out in '94. It wasn't like we didn't see commercial or cartoons rather or whatever animations with dinosaurs. It was like you felt like you were watching it in real life. So I get like with How to Train Your Dragon, we get to see what is going to look like real dragons and real people riding them. It's just a completely different visual medium, but the story does not need any retelling.
See, I
Just
kind of like
leave
when
it
they change
alone.
the story because then it gives me a little something different to explore in that world.
Because
Like,
then it's just too
Piss
predictable.
off.
Well, because otherwise,
Well, it's just
why
too
would I go and
predictable.
see it? I know the ending. I know what's going to happen. I know it's there. So the whole thing is just to see some CGI.
Have you ever watched a movie twice, 2 times?
Yeah, you watch Rocky.
Why would I
once a
watch
month.
this movie again? I know it's going to happen. I know it because you enjoy watching the
Since
film.
we started
That's a
the
shit
channel?
excuse.
Not really.
You've been just dumping diarrhea out your mouth this whole live with your reasons. Why would
Or
you?
you're
What,
hyped
are
up.
you
What
even,
did you
what are
take
even
before you got
talking
here?
about?
Well, because
I
why
already
would I
know what
want to
this-
go see the same? Like if they made an animated version of Titanic, why would I want to go
Because
see
you
that?
enjoy. I don't know. Have you ever watched?
Let's
a
have a
movie?
different story where she
animated
doesn't
version of
throw
Titanic.
diamonds
This
at the
This guy's
ocean.
never
Titanic.
watched
Oh
the
my
movie
God.
twice, folks. He's never watched the movie twice. Why would I watch a movie a second time if I've seen it and already knows how it goes? Says the guy with 100 DVDs at his cabin and watches the same movie over and over and over,
Last
knowing
time-
how it's going
last
to end.
time I was at the cabin, we
already
watched
knowing
ourselves.
the story,
But that's not
watching
going, because that's not going out and making a new movie. That's the same movie. There's nothing wrong with watching the
God,
same movie.
because you have an
Why would you
animated,
spend all the money?
because you have an
spend $100
animated
million
film and you want to present it
Go
in
do
a
it.
different, a real live action visual medium. Hey, this
What's the
looks like
payoff?
a real dragon. Enjoyment, money.
Toothless
We are
looks-
going to get to your
Toothless
super
looks
chats
the
here.
same.
folks.
Yeah, we'll
We
get
are.
to them eventually.
But it's
once
with
we-
people and not animations, and the dragons
Hey,
do
we're
not
just
look
as
the
shocked as
same.
you.
They-
Usually
oh,
Oak is sleepy.
this
This is
fucking
what
guy.
happens when you hit 400
I'm
subs
just-
accidentally. Just happens.
I mean, I'm just saying, like with Netflix, with Avatar: The Last Airbender, their version, I didn't have a problem with it. I enjoyed it.
Now
And
I
see,
think
something
you're
with-
not even now at this point.
and
All
something
you're
with
doing with
Avatar,
all
because
you're
it's
doing
such-
right now is fucking with me for the live.
No, I'm
That's
not,
it.
because
everything you're saying is
Look, with
so
movies-
ridiculous
with
that
movies-
that's my only explanation.
You've never said that
With-
on any of the phone calls or text chains.
with movies, I can see your point a little bit because a movie is an hour and a half, 2 hour story and adventure. With a series like Avatar, where how many episodes was Avatar Answer?
8.
But I mean the animated one.
Oh,
was
the
like
animated was
60-ish
like,
or
yeah,
something.
50, 65.
Yeah, so
I
when you
think.
have that
Let me
many
know for sure.
episodes, and if you're going to, combine it into a series on Netflix, you can have a little bit of creative freedom in how you want to tell the story.
How many seasons were in Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Well,
4
seasons. There was 3 because it was put into 3 books.
60 episodes
Yeah.
ish.
Yep.
And they were all what, 20 some minutes long?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you have the episodes each be an hour long and you go on Netflix and now you take it from 60 episodes down to 30, break it up into 3 seasons, and each one is about a 45-minute show with 10 episodes per season. Sounds like exactly what they're doing on Netflix already. 3 seasons, 10 episodes each, all about 45 minutes, like every show we're watching right now. This isn't fucking rocket science.
I think it might be.
Oh my God.
I mean, I just think it works.
You're
for some
making it
things,
sound
not
like
for
it's
others.
such a big deal. It would be 3 seasons again.
No,
10
I'm not saying it's a big
episodes each.
deal, but I'm saying if you have a chance to, improve some things, do some things different. For example, with the world of The Walking Dead, when Kirkman said getting rid of Rick's hand, spoiler alert, I guess, was one of the biggest mistakes of the whole franchise, he was able to correct that in the live action adaptation, which they also made creative changes in The Walking Dead versus the comic books. I don't think a lot of people
Well,
had
that's
issue
been
with that
every Marvel and
outside
DC
of maybe
movie.
Carl's demise.
Here's my thing. When you
been
already
different
have
from the
something that
comics.
people absolutely love, the masses have spoken. We loved Avatar: The Last Airbender. We loved Up. We loved this. We loved this. Why take any sort of creative risk and change a story that some people might like or some people might not? Why don't you just give the people what they're expecting? We want to see this in a different visual medium. Just leave it alone. You're going to make money off it. That's the goal, right? Make money. Hey guys, we're retelling the story. You know what?
That's
You just
not-
get to
well,
see it.
Totally
Well, the thing
guarantee
is-
if you think about it, because even just like we said here in Up. Now, granted,
Why'd you have to
depends, because
start
once
this
you say like a lot of folks had that same, I ain't watching How to Train Your Dragon live action, which
Yep.
when it comes available to us, we will be watching it here for y'all.
Because we saw the comments. It was about 50-50
It was
when
about
we did the
50-50,
trailer.
but they still crushed right in the box office. So yeah, I guess you could say one could be like, well, yeah, the first week is going to be great, but then it's make or break when someone actually sees it. So people could say, I'm not watching it, but they'll go, and then that's where it's kind of
Okay, so if
Well,
you're
and
some,
it's,
if
and
you're
it's a way for
plain scenarios,
it's a way
folks,
for
plain
parents
scenarios.
to enjoy it with their kid, and it's a whole new experience for both.
if you're somebody who is going to the theater for a live action film that you think you're going to love, if you saw it, and what would any complaint be? Well, I didn't like the live action version. Look, we know now that the visuals they're presenting to us in the live action versions are top notch. Unless you have some serious budget constraints. But everything they're giving us live action, like I went and saw the Mufasa in the Lion King live action. For fuck's sake, you take somebody from 50 years ago and tell them that there's talking lions, they're going to believe it's talking lions. It's that good.
Mr. Ed.
So the peanut butter,
Peanut butter in the horse's mouth.
So the thing is, if you go to the movie, let's take How to Train Your Dragon. If you go to that, okay, and you already know what you're expecting, you've already seen the original, and you go and it's like, hey, it was the exact same story, just in live action. You can't complain because if they lay it out, that's what it's going to be. But if you go and you're like, oh, yeah, they changed it. This major thing they changed, or this major character they changed. Well, why did you need to change it? You're selling something, a remake of something that already exists.
But that's only if you know it. That's only if you know what happened in the original. For example, with Peter Jackson in the Lord of the Rings stuff in The Hobbit, he made some tweaks and changes to that. But you would only know that if you knew the original
material.
If you knew how the original story.
Yeah.
So if you go in and he changed it, you'd be like, oh, I didn't know that this happened that way.
Well, and to your point, a lot of folks a lot of folks were always, from what I remember in our comments, because I've never seen any of prior, is that folks were saying they enjoyed somewhat of The Hobbit, but there was a lot of changes, it felt like.
Yes, there was.
So folks were kind of like on that page too.
Harry Potter for you. You say you want
Fantastic Beasts. There was a lot of
the
folks
whole
for the
point
Potter
of the
series, too.
Disney, but that's a remake. We're talking completely different things here. Taking an animated film and doing a live action remake is wildly different than different adaptations from a book.
To his point about source material.
Source material, it's all
translating
different.
to film.
The whole thing with a live action animated, you're taking the same story and you're just putting it in live action. Those are completely different discussions. And for something like, let's take How to Train Your Dragon, it's universally loved. So it can be assumed that even if you didn't see it before and you go see the live action version, you're probably going to think, hey, this is great because the first one made $1 billion. Same thing with Up. People who haven't seen it before are likely going to go and enjoy it. People who just want to see the live action version, who already know what the original story is, as long as the live action doesn't suck, will probably enjoy it. Now, you change the story up. The first time people, yes, they may still enjoy it, but the people who are going to see it because they want live action, who've already seen it, which is likely, I don't know, I'm going to guess at least 50%, may or may not like it. You put a risk of losing 50%, if not more, of the audience, when all you had to do was, and here's another thing, isn't making the film easier if you just fucking go off of what you already have?
I don't know. I've never made a film. I can tell you.
I don't know. It sounds like you're being lazy to me. Sounds like you don't want to put in the work. Tell a fun
good
story.
already.
You
I
folks
don't
let
have
us
anything
know
to add.
if you would actually, if they should even
they've been
just
letting us.
shut down talks of the live action Up, because I don't know, that one is maybe the one. Usually I'm kind of for all right, let's see what they can do if it's going to be good or bad. But that one I'd probably be like, I don't think you should touch. But because it's
I'm
only
fine
going to be
with
that
it
weekend.
if it's line for line, shot for shot, character for character, everything that people already love. You just give us the dodo bird and the dog in a live action.
So, folks, real quick, too, real hard change of transition here. We are going to be doing
Next topic.
as we've mentioned, we're going to be doing some video challenges, right? Yep. So we had to keep our spirit of pro wrestling into it. So with that being said, we are introducing on the live stream the Bad Medicine Championship Challenge Belt. Look at this.
Look at that.
And who knows, folks? Maybe,
at how big this-
depending on where we're at in the world,
Should we hold it upside down? Like
maybe you get involved and you can win the championship for an hour because you can't keep it. It's coming back with
Take
us.
it home.
It's like WWE,
But-
it just goes right back.
Yeah, we got
look
some
at
stuff
that.
coming.
Getting a little bit
So
of glare.
hopefully here, this will be pretty fun challenges, and we're going to lean on you for some stuff too. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
that probably won't be able to stay on the table.
oh, you got to do it right like they do you got to get the
Where's my
side
muffins?
plates. Well, you just hold it. You just hold it. But yes, folks, this will be part of the challenges now. Yeah, you got to show actually how big that
Yeah,
This
fucker
is
is.
how
Comparison.
it is.
It's actually a little bit bigger than what I thought.
And it's funny.
We got it.
We were talking
it's
about
just-
it the one day, and all of a sudden I was scrolling Facebook. I saw the same exact ad for the same exact belt.
Yeah, the day that it arrived, the surprise on Diamond Dave's face when he couldn't believe the size of this title was something to see.
So yeah, you'll be seeing that in future challenge videos coming up.
We got nameplates so we could put like when the
Or
answer
the
holds
side
up.
plates.
We're not here to do a lot of work on that. We're just here to pass the
It's like
present the
a
championship.
spot for a Velcro nameplate on.
No, Velcro nameplate would even be.
Answer's
Velcro
going to win
nameplate
it.
would
Are you
be
gonna
kinda fun.
spray paint it?
NWO, RWA.
He's going to spray paint
RWA
on the belt.
That should be on top of the Daily Planet. Yeah, probably.
We could just, you know what we could do?
That's basically a chest
We
plate
could
of
take
armor.
the
Chest
RWA
plate.
graphic, print it out, and you could just tape the letters on.
Good.
That's
spray paint's better.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here,
Yeah,
suggesting that Answer's ever going to hold
we
that
should.
title belt.
Maybe you want to see it, Oak? Nope, psych. That's the closest you're ever gonna get. punk.
Although when we get into food challenges,
goodness.
when we get into
close you're ever gonna
food
get.
challenges, I have a feeling that Answer's going to be wearing
I got
that thing.
news for you.
Yeah, we got some stuff planned. It's just a matter of getting the execution done. The first couple are definitely us just messing around, but then I think we're gonna get
Then I'll be serious.
a little bit more serious. So,
We got the
Just wanna
it'll be
give
fun,
you-
folks.
give
It'll be
folks a
fun.
the
little
flight
taste.
experience coming up. That's not messing around here.
Absolutely. So
No, it
nice
is not.
little taste for everyone out there to see what's
Yep.
going to be on the line with the championship here.
And the championship, once man life is on the line.
Now, when
Ready
you
to
win
rumble.
that, you do have to do weekly visits to the Fox River Mall to sign autographs.
Yeah,
for-
and you
for
have to bring it
everyone.
with you. So
Yep, and you got to carry it with you at all times.
You know what would be a
That
fun
would be a
fun
fun
video
video.
is if we did have Answer walking through the mall with the belt, and Quinn and I dressed up as security guards, suits, earpieces, and everything, and Dave followed through the camera
Kenzie, you're onto
just
something.
to see if people would like start being like, "Oh, who is that? Who is that?" You know.
Bad idea.
I like how
Kenzie, you keep shooting those over.
Yeah.
Wisconsin
State
State
Fair.
Fair food versus Minnesota State Fair food.
Oh, jeez. That would be no contest, I wouldn't think.
Wins the Minnesota State Fair.
We got Wisconsin.
well,
I never know.
I think Wisconsin State Fair is always in August, isn't it?
something like that.
We should find out here.
It's been a while.
Let's
You
take
can
a
always go
look.
to Nebraska and get deep fried butter.
Hey, I think they have.
It's just
Don't
a
tease
stick
me
of-
with a good time.
Should see how many different deep fried things Answer can eat.
Oh,
with those.
why?
Oreos, Snickers, Twix. Those are always good.
this challenge ended at the
Funnel cake.
hospital. His heart just stopped.
I'm in a hospital.
Sorry,
by the
guys.
fall.
One of the guys had to stop being on the channel for a while because they need some serious heel time.
July 31st through August 10th is going to be the July 31st through August 10th is going to be the Wisconsin State Fair.
Okay.
And then let's see, is the Minnesota State Fair
Sota.
August 21st to September 1st.
So there's
The Calumet County Fair.
The Falcon Heights, Minnesota State Fairgrounds, which is adjacent to the University of Minnesota St. Paul's campus. So not that bad of a drive for us.
Not at all.
When was Minnesota's again?
August 21st to
21st
September
it starts.
1st.
Okay, so there's a month in between. So
Yep. Yeah.
get Wisconsin. Wow, dude, that's crazy because they'd be like, all right, remember what that
remember
tasted
what
like
you
a month
ate.
ago.
That's
Oh,
the
if it
problem.
tasted like toothpaste, you'll remember.
Yeah,
we'll just have to put, like,
the
an
overall.
asterisk.
You'd have like the overall variety of food, the presentation, how you thought the fair was laid out and whatnot. So it might be onto something there.
Presentation.
Yeah, we'd have to put an asterisk like timeline here,
Yep.
taste buds, but now we're back to here.
Well, we just
slay it all
remember
up.
our scores. Just remember our scores for everything.
Is there really anything that's well? I'm sure there's something that could be bad if we choose to do the bad.
That's true. Most
But
of
if
the time,
we just
most
keep it
food
to
is
like
good.
deep fried Oreos, well,
They have some sort of
that'd be bad.
bucket of cookies challenge there at the Minnesota State Fair. That would be fun.
Could
But
have
that's the thing, though. We got to
161
kind of
Twinkies
like,
Joey Chestnut.
we got to figure out like how do we categorize it? Like, do we keep
Right.
what we know would be in Wisconsin Fair, here, and just say, hey, the three things we tried here, good, and then keep it all different over in Minnesota? Because what if they're not?
Yeah.
Do they have menus?
Because are you going to try to compare, say, cheese curds to one another, or what do they call them? The
Funnel cake.
Yeah, if someone
funnel
puts in
cakes.
too much paprika,
Foods
for
on
one's
sticks.
taste.
yeah.
Foods on sticks.
Minnesota's trying to flex on us, saying they got over 60 foods on sticks.
Okay, so there's one start. There's a start there, right? We're only going to do 10. out of the 60.
Of each.
I hope it's
I'm
good to
getting
go.
all 60.
And then we'll have to bring a defibrillator to
Defibrillator,
restart
yes.
the heart, I think.
Probably.
All that deep fried goodness, but
Do the Minnesota popular foods versus the Wisconsin. Okay, that's one. That's a good one too, Mackenzie.
So
What-
we
what's
should just have you lay out.
so it'd
the
be
format.
like
Popular.
it'd be like lutefisk versus bratwurst.
Well,
Anything Norwegian.
bratwurst.
But yes, food challenges will be happening too. So, folks, feel free now to start dropping some well-known food challenge places in the chat here, because then we could kind of come back and just circle to it. We'll eventually make a post on that too. Drop your favorite food challenge spots, even though it may be a minute before we get there. But
Minnesota's got
even if it's
more
across the pond.
cultures than Wisconsin. What?
well, I won't.
Our
put it
culture
past
is
them.
just Wisconsin.
our just beer.
W.
You know, I know we get the cheese state, but it's really just beer.
They just don't.
Beer,
Have, we
cheese,
don't have the
beer.
diversity of the Twin Cities. That would be accurate.
That's very accurate. Well, depending
I
on
was gonna say,
what
I
area.
thought you were coming at us
depending
saying
on-
like we're uncultured. Here in
Only
Wisconsin.
good thing Minnesota
Well,
has is,
depending on which part of the state.
only good thing Minnesota has is Juicy Lucy's.
Oh,
That's it.
What is a
I don't even think that's
what
around
is a
anymore.
Juicy
Yeah, no,
Lucy.
the
You've
Juicy
never had a
Lucy.
Juicy Lucy?
Clearly, by me asking,
Holy
what
shit,
is a
what?
Juicy
What?
Lucy?
Don't even tell them. Chat.
Oh my
don't
God.
even.
Yeah, don't even
sound
tell
like
them.
I
Oh my
show
God.
speed. Chat.
Chat, don't.
Chat. Don't tell Oak anything about a Juicy Lucy. We'll make that into a video for you because Minnesota's
I will write that
2
down.
hours that
He-
way.
You
So
will.
we'll take
love
you to
it.
the originator
Yep.
in Minnesota.
Yeah.
The first.
'Cause I wasn't sure if that restaurant was still around.
Well,
Because
actually,
I was
talk to
Well, remember-
Eric Rowan.
Yeah,
Eric
remember.
Rowan. We got to talk to him. We'll make him part of that video.
I was gonna say the best thing to come out of Minnesota, aside from Highway 94, would be First Avenue nightclub.
That is.
Highway 94. I don't get it.
That's a highway. That,
I know it's a highway.
Best thing to come out of
gets you
Minnesota.
out of
Coming out of the
Coming out of
state.
Minnesota.
Well, it's also going into the states. You should have said.
That's why I said the best thing coming out is the highway.
yes.
I didn't hear the out part.
Nonetheless,
Oh, also,
First
well,
Avenue.
remember,
Emphasizing
Home
all of those points in your delivery, Quinn. You can't be too
and much like the Philly cheesesteak, because there's two places that say they originated it in Philadelphia. That's the same thing with the Juicy Lucy in Minnesota. There's two of them that claim that they.
a lot of controversy.
Bananas.
Yeah,
Bananas.
isn't that
I want to
great?
read this comment out loud. We're known for crabs. We're known for crabs, which is why Michelle Pfeiffer was called Miss Baltimore Crabs in Hairspray.
Hairspray.
It just sounded funny. Sorry, Bananas. I'm probably going to get heat for making that sound even way worse, but
Well,
it's okay.
hey, it's not like
Okay.
anybody's gonna just take
You know.
a little clip of that.
Yeah, it's like,
We're known for crabs.
We're known
Hey,
for
welcome to
crabs.
Bad Medicine Live. We're known for crabs.
We'll just wait until
got worms.
Severance comes out where we're talking about Daddy wants a raw egg. Just wait until that comes out
what
to
he
YouTube.
said.
here.
Mason Quinn.
well, way to spoil it.
No. Let them.
Now they don't have to wait.
All the
He
members
already
saw it.
fucking spoiled
All
it.
the
He
members
just
saw
said
it.
it.
He didn't say it was
all the
me.
members saw
All the members saw
Whatever.
it.
Mason Quinn doesn't know how to
whatever.
use.
He just
And,
brushes it off.
He doesn't know
Like
how
it
to
doesn't
use.
matter.
He doesn't know how to use the term "daddy" appropriately in a sentence mixed with other words in the English language.
Opinions
Words are
vary.
hard.
All
right,
right,
you
here
think
we
it's time
go.
we could get to a super?
Let's get to some of your super chats because that's what's more important than our chit chat here. All right,
now, for-
DDG, Daddy Dutch Gamer, we acknowledge.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you for the super because he threw up the one. Just threw up the one there. All right, answer.
Kaylee with a super
right.
chat. Thank you so
We
much
got
for
this
that.
new layout.
Hi guys, after reacting to Ted Lasso, do you think you'd be interested in watching more of Jason Sudeikis' movies? The comedy is crass but fun. There's a few that I've seen of
hilarious,
his.
so yes.
So yeah, I would love to see it. I don't know if this will get us kicked off, but a good old fashioned orgy, that was a fun one to watch.
That might get us kicked.
Is that the name of the movie?
That's the name of
a
the
good
movie.
old fashioned orgy.
Yes.
You two might get that kicked. You'd be surprised.
Can we
folks.
put that in our titles? Bad medicine.
And then,
good old
and
fashioned.
then what was the one with him and Allison Brie? I couldn't remember that.
We're the Millers.
They did one.
Was
that
that?
a good
I
one.
know that
Yeah,
was
We're
Ed
the
Hel-
Millers.
That's
Okay,
him.
yeah.
Him and Jen Aniston.
Who'd you think else it was?
Ed, isn't Ed?
Ed Helms is in.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Never mind.
remember he's the he's
Yeah. He's the guy.
Oh, well, I haven't seen Jason
got-
Sudeikis, and
his-
I don't think in
whale.
anything outside of Ted Lasso. So I'd be down for it. I guess that'd be a question for Diamond Dave if he's been seeing that on any of the Patreon. Or
Yeah,
polls or
we're the Millers, but I can't remember which one of you guys haven't seen it because I have.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I know you know a part in there where it's regrets because you always say it.
Yeah, no regrets.
But that's
well, that's just an internet meme of people having the wrong tattoo.
Oh,
I
well,
didn't
that's
necessarily have
okay.
that from that movie.
that's where that's
Yeah.
from.
oh, well,
Wait, so who hasn't seen it?
just you.
You
Or just
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
haven't watched Answer's orgy thing.
Stop saying that word because I don't know if we're gonna get booted or not. That's another one of those words where
It's
we
not
can.
my thing.
It's his thing. It's your deal.
It's my deal.
It's your gang, Billy. It's always been your gang.
We'll just change the word to organic.
Organic,
just say
good
organic.
old-fashioned
Organic.
organic.
Answer's organic
Yeah,
films.
people are very smart enough to know what we're talking about when you phrase the title.
Which,
All
by
right.
the way, before we get to any more super chats, wanted to acknowledge Mia there in the chat as a moderator.
And Alana.
And Alana in as moderators. Thank you guys.
Atlanta.
Thank you for joining us. All right.
All right, Sally Dow's with a super chat as well. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, be on the lookout for more of his films coming up. But Sally Dow's, hi guys, congrats on 400K, well deserved. I've been with you since Up. You randomly popped up
Speaking
in my
of.
suggested videos, and I've never looked back. Well, just wait till you catch us in the live action remake of Up.
And they totally changed the
do it.
story.
Where the old man kills
just
the kid and then
totally-
runs away.
The old man
Totally changed the story.
Guy.
The old man throws the kid off the house. It's actually a horror version we're giving you, folks.
Oh, where's that kid?
Somehow Art the Clown finds his way in there. And,
Folks, I can't wait for you to see Terrifier from us on that. The first two were just wild. Number 3 is coming out on the members pages this week. Brutal.
Yep.
Just brutal.
Tell.
All right.
Ashley Steffi with the super chat. Highly recommend Little Women Korean show for twists since y'all love the glory. Not like the US one. It's crazy fun. Well, I don't know if Oak's going to allow that if it's not like the original, and if it's different, he might not enjoy it. So, but I will write it
Yeah,
down.
let's write that one down. I didn't even
Asshole,
hear
we're
that
talking
one.
about remakes of animated films into live action. It has nothing to do with, the whole point is to give you a real live looking version of something that was previously animated. These are completely different fucking things.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right, Alana Myers, the banana.
You're hiding it. Why are you
Oh,
hiding
well, because it's comfy. All right. It is. It's nice to lean on. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Dad's been watching since your It videos in late 2022.
Georgie?
And Georgie. I'm so proud to see how far you've come. Will you guys watch the miniseries Welcome to Derry? And your Canadian snacks are
Deary.
on the way.
Deary.
Deary.
Good
Oh,
Lord, there's no
Deary.
A and I in there.
Love you.
Holy shit.
Deary.
He's not a
Welcome to
reader.
Derry. I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Welcome to Derry.
Are you gonna let him just give you that shit without firing back?
No, I like Deary.
If you put a J in front of that, how would it be spelled?
Jerry.
Say it.
Jerry.
Deary.
Well, now we're getting
If
into
that was J, it wouldn't be Jerry. It would be.
I'll
I'm
pull up the
saying,
trailer
don't
for
blame
ya.
Answer for
I'll pull up the
pronouncing it.
trailer for you. Dude, he mispronounces that shit all
I know,
the
but
time.
I'm just
Don't
saying when you
act
read
like
it,
he does.
Derry,
I can't wait to
Derry,
watch
Pull up the
Pentel
trailer
Jerry.
later. We'll pull up the
Harry.
trailer
All I
later.
know that
Derry.
I'll pull up the trailer
regardless.
for you later, and you can hear it.
Jesus.
But yes, we will be watching that because we got to see
after the
that clown.
Fast and Furious.
Well, it reminds me of the old Gallagher bit. C-O-M-B comb? T-O-M-B tome? No, tomb. Okay, T-O-M-B tomb.
There's the guy.
B-O-M-B boom? No,
Nate Bargatze when he does the George Washington where he does that where
That
he
bit?
it's on SNL. He has 2 of them. I should send them to you. They're hilarious
They're
because
pretty
he's like how many feet are in a yard? 3. It's like how long is a mile in yards? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
There's a guy that's gone pretty viral on TikTok and on Instagram Reels for doing his like lessons where it's just, it's him and then a teacher and a student version of him trying to do the English language, but it's basically just a spin-off of the Gallagher bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's
Pretty
legendary.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Alana. And thank you for the snacks.
Marie. Big one here.
Acknowledge me.
Wow, that's a very
Far
generous.
too generous.
Far too generous here.
So much. Thank you.
Wow.
Marie Ramgirl with the super chat.
That's
Thank
Marie's
you for
Rams
that.
girls.
Congrats on the 400K subs, Quinn, Diamond Dave, Answer, and Oak, 4 fine gentlemen of bad medicine. Well deserved for all your hard work you do entertaining and bringing joy to everyone. We are truly lucky for having wonderful, witty people with big hearts like yourselves, making the world a better place. Love you lots with the heart. Again, thank you for that. And again, that goes both ways. A huge, massive thank you to all of you out there for making this happen, because it's all of our community that we built this. So couldn't have done it without you. So thank you, and thank you for that massive super chat.
Yeah, you guys showing up and showing out for all of our videos. It's amazing. Thank you so much for that. And even these lives. I mean, right now we have 446. That's awesome that you guys are all here on a Monday afternoon. Well, for us, that you're here kicking it with us. This is amazing. Love it. Love you guys.
Thank you again for that very generous super chat.
For the generous.
Nikolai!
Nikolai! Thank you for the super chat. Congratulations to all of you on reaching 400K, my dudes. And of course, to me, the 5th member of Bad Medicine, here's to your continued success.
Board member.
Acknowledge me.
That's right.
Board member,
That's right. The CEO.
Yep. Because that started because of what Packard talk about, like owning stock or whatever. Is that how that came
Something
up
like
with
that.
Nikolai, where he
Something
just decided he was going to be a board member?
Just
I wonder.
decided.
Do you think in the inland
we should
era
sell?
of-
We should sell stocks. They're completely.
when was the
they're
last
worth one.
Packer stock sale?
Wasn't that long ago?
2012? No,
No, there was
Wasn't
there
that
was
just
more
in the last
recent.
5
because
years?
because my
No, it wasn't that recent. was it?
because
Wasn't it?
Because my brother bought.
thought.
My brother bought one for his son.
Because I'm
before he
pretty
was born.
I'm pretty sure they did a stock sale within the time we've been doing the channel, because I thought we talked about it.
I swear there was some in the last 5 years.
Because I thought we talked about it.
They did it in February 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah,
It
okay.
started in November.
A bunch of
they
rubes.
raised 65.8 million of people buying Packer stock.
How is that not investigated for fraud? Like you're buying. I mean,
I don't
they
know how
probably
that's-
have a
It's a donation.
boilerplate.
You're paying for a piece of paper.
It's a donation.
basically.
You're selling
Yeah.
a piece of paper. It's non-transferable.
Praise Cure.
Not worth anything.
Praise Cure.
Hey, my nephew.
Hey, things
That's-
are worth
that's
what
amazing that
somebody
he
else
has
is
one.
willing to pay for it.
That's a fair point.
How can I talk you into buying this
Lambo's
piece?
running an Lumen operation. I see what's going on. That's genius.
Everyone gets severed when they go into
Genius.
1265.
Mackenzie O'Reilly, thank you for the super chat. Does filming reactions ever start to feel like a job, or do you still love it? Once again, recommending the theory of everything and bridge to Terabithia. Yeah, no, look, it's we're watching really great content, and that's
the bad stuff.
That's the thing about
if we're
the,
watching
the format is like, look, we're putting out polls on Patreon and for YouTube members, and they get to vote on what we're watching. But we also, there's the big hits that come out that we're going to watch. But 99% of the stuff that we're watching is stuff that's, that's really captivated audiences. And so we're the same. Look, we all have our own tastes and things we like and don't like. And there's things that have resonated better with us than other things. But for the most part, especially like right now, for those of you who are on Patreon or keeping up with everything we're dropping, I mean, it's been like banger after banger. So you come into the studio just super excited to see what's next. So
I will say, like the glory right now. Whoever, for all of you that pushed for as long as you have,
Thank you.
thank you for staying pushing, because the glory is phenomenal. And no, this doesn't feel like a job at all, because even when we're off camera, we're still talking about it. And
We'll
when we
be
even
texting.
walk out, we'll text the next day, be like, after letting it sit, this just now hit. This makes a little bit more sense now, or this was dumb. So even it does not feel like a job, because this is just too fun to see the creativity, for the most part, for some of these writers, for all the films, and TV all around the world. Again, I will never get sick of saying this. If it wasn't for this channel, no way would I have ever checked out The Glory. And there's a list of other things
there's a
too.
long list of things.
Long list of
that
things
we
I'd
watched.
never ever even give a second look to. And Peaky Blinders is one of them. If no one pushed for it on here,
Oh yeah,
probably
somebody
wouldn't even
gave
watch
up on it in 10 seconds.
Yeah, 2 people on this dais gave up on it, but hey,
I can't understand what these guys are saying.
And then you watch it,
I'm
and it's
not
like,
old.
oh.
I don't need subtitles.
And then we go back and watch it. Oh, it's really not that hard to understand.
I just wasn't.
After you get
I
through
just
2
wasn't.
episodes, you're
I
good.
just
The
wasn't
rest of the
sold
series.
on it.
Yeah.
Hey, any
But yeah,
job
Mackenzie,
that you get this belt.
Yeah, Mackenzie, I'll just jump in real quick. No, it doesn't feel like a job. I've had plenty of jobs. I've had a long list of them. We've talked about it on the channel, and this is better than every single one of them for sure.
All right. Brooksy with a super chat. Thank you so much for that. Congrats on 400K. Some champagne bottles and some streamers and hats. Thank you so much for that.
Do we have anything any champagne or any old fashions or anything to
No,
celebrate?
we got a bunch of stuff to do later, so no alcohol.
No celebrations.
Yeah,
right
no
now.
fun for
You
you.
guys can't function after a glass of champagne.
Don't worry.
I
Friend already
can.
asked.
I can't.
But we don't have any thing laying around here, so
No, not today.
not that I. Nope.
You mean
Not even
not even in your pocket?
not even the emergency bottle.
He's got a flask.
He's got some fireball shots in his pocket. Look what I had.
It's strictly for emergency.
He'll keep you warm at Lambo special.
Oh,
Right.
that works.
Thank you, Brooksy.
Fire.
Yep. Thank you, Brooksy. And
Thank you.
Jake with the super chat.
From State Farm.
Congratulations. Yeah, Jake from State Farm. Congratulations on the 400K subs, gents. Watch your content pretty much daily. I have a life somewhat, I swear. The banter, the laughs, the discussions, all of it makes my day. I keep calling a doctor. Thank you for
good.
that, Jake. Yeah, there's something to be said for some things that you can just put on and just listen to. Like if you have the type of job that allows that, definitely makes the day go by faster. So yeah, thank you for that.
Tenapix, thank you for the super chat. Dang it, guys. I'd hoped to go live yesterday. Now I have to enjoy my work day.
Well, there you go.
Listening to
There
you.
you go. You can listen to us.
Well, there you
and
go. As
listen
long
to
as,
old complain.
as long
Yeah, I think we got some
I just hope your
competition on today.
headphones don't pop out or something out of your laptop when Oak's going on a tirade. All of a sudden, the whole office here's your draft bombs getting
or your
dropped.
kids.
or ants are talking about organic gatherings.
Organic vegetables.
And I only said it
Yes.
once. You're the one that claimed it was mine.
Well,
Well, what's about your thing? It's not mine.
we
It's
can
a
claim
movie.
ownership.
Hey,
to
I'm
that.
not judging you at all, dude.
It's a culture.
Tenapix, thank you again for another super chat. Speaking of car culture, did you watch Hyperdrive?
Is Hyper? You don't have to send a. If you're still here, 10. Is Hyperdrive the spoof?
That's super fast, I think.
We should watch that. That'd be great.
Super fast. I haven't heard of Hyperdrive. I wrote it down, if nothing else, just to check out
Yeah.
for sure.
We will.
I've never even heard of
on the
Hyperdrive.
list.
We will investigate as always. OP fanboy, thank you so much for the super chat. Guys, congrats on 400K subs. Watched F1 and IMAX. Oh, I'm jealous. Great movie and got my ticket for Superman this weekend. Hope to see your reaction later down the line. Well, that sounds like a pretty good back-to-back, but I'm definitely jealous that you saw F1 and IMAX. I saw IMAX one thing, and it was the woman that was living with monkeys and chimpanzees over down in Africa.
Oh, Gorillas in the Mist? Was that maybe?
It was a documentary, but that's what we watched. And then the group that went after us, they watched Michael Jordan Air on the IMAX. It's like, oh yeah. I'm glad I saw the monkey documentary.
Yeah, but neither of those things would air on.
Seeing Michael Jordan dunking a ball on IMAX,
I still have to experience an
I'd
IMAX.
rather see that than
The Nike movie Air.
yeah.
No, it wasn't. Not the movie.
Not the Nike movie Air. It's called Michael Jordan Air. It was filmed in IMAX.
Oh,
and
I thought you were talking about
celebrating his career.
I thought you were talking about the movie with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I'm like,
No,
that was a good movie, but that
doesn't warrant
It's not like an
IMAX. No,
IMAX.
not at
Thanks,
all.
10. I know I see you in there. You said it's on Netflix. Hyperdrive.
Okay. Yep. See it there.
Okay.
But what a weekend that had to be. F1 on IMAX and then Superman coming up. Yeah, I'm very much waiting to check that out. That's gonna be a fun one here for the channel.
It's gonna
for
be
sure.
amazing.
Then maybe we followed up with Rush or something. I don't know if you folks
Rush
I
is a
haven't
good-
seen it.
that.
Rush is a
We'll
good
see.
movie. Oh, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I still need to see it.
Two people.
It is
from
on the list, though.
MCU are.
Yeah, they are.
It is on the list.
All right.
See, you get that reference now.
I do. Yeah. That's like, what movie were we watching where somebody referenced The Wizard of Oz in something we watched, and I'm like, oh, I get that reference now, like the Emerald City or something they referenced. I'm like, oh, I know what that means now.
Why don't you take this next
Now
one?
I'm cultured.
take this
Sid James with the super chat. I think Brian should be in CGI and playing a major role in 11 because Dante is going after everyone that Dom cares about. I don't care if you disagree.
Well, thank you very
Absolutely,
much.
Sid. I can't disagree with that. That makes sense. Dante is doing that. So, like I said, with Brian being such a high level character, he's like,
And
nah,
Reacher.
I'm just gonna chill at home.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit with my
chill at
feet up.
home while everybody's in danger.
So we got Dante and Reacher going
Yeah.
after the whole family.
He went from I missed the bullets to I can sit this one out.
I can set this one out. You guys will be fine. You'll jump off that dam with little B. You'll be fine. It's all right.
Little B.
Yep. A little Brian, yeah.
Damn. Like it's such a dire situation.
And then fade to black.
Like I don't know how we're getting out of this one, guys.
Yeah, I need some time to think
Yeah,
about
we'll
it.
get a couple of years in between movies to think about how I get out of this.
Like
sticky-
that's
get
the
out of this sticky
revenge he's gonna
situation.
take. Like you couldn't just take the guy out. You're blowing. I'm gonna destroy the city of Rome, and then I'm gonna blow this dam all because of.
Where does the dam go? We're not worried about that.
We'll just drive off of it.
They took my dad's money and ruined my life, so I'm gonna destroy cities instead of just going. You're gonna blow up a dam? You realize the destruction that could happen? Well, he took my dad's safe.
Well,
we drove off with it.
Well, we've seen destruction before in movies.
Did you know that if Paul wouldn't have passed, they would have brought back Cole Hauser to be the big baddie?
That would have been awesome
That
to
would
see
have been
Cole Hauser back, especially because he's a guy who's grown so much as an actor since Too Fast, Too Furious. I think people would really be shocked if all of a sudden there's Cole. You know,
And he could get the payment on that when Tyrese or when Rome is talking shit to him, and he's like, "Oh, he'll be out soon enough."
no, seriously, you think he's getting out? Oh yeah, he'll be out. Too Fast, Too Furious was so underrated. It's such a fun ride.
Same with Tokyo.
Yep,
Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
But I
for sure.
Either way, I'm cool if Cody, as long as they get good enough CGI, they don't rush it. Because that's where I feel like if they do rush it, then it's going to be like, it's going to take folks out. If it is the last one, then make sure you put a good budget towards Cody so he can look like Paul, and then we'll go from there.
He's just wearing a fake nose and like a bigger.
They're doing like the Deadpool Hugh Jackman thing, with the magazine cutout. No, I don't think they would go that far.
Well, because we have seen where there's been
that'd be
movies and
brutal.
shows where they did like de-aging and stuff, and it
Yeah.
looked okay, but then like fans would do it themselves.
Yeah, like
and
the
make it look
Irishman.
even better. They made it look better than the Irishman just from using AI and taking pulling
Well,
from all the
the AI, the technology for that is advancing at such an exponential rate that by the time they actually put it out there, it's probably
It's already better.
yeah.
Yep. ZZVBC. Woo! Thank you for the super chat. Not sure if there's a super sticker or something there, but thank you for the super chat.
Thank you so much.
I'm not seeing anything there, but hopefully it was at least a sticker.
All right, Rixus Max. Thank you so much for the super chat. Happy 400K and hello from Germany. Cyberpunk Edge Runners Season 2 has been announced. Will you watch Season 1 soon-ish? It's a 10 out of 10.
It's on the list.
We'll be the judges
Okay.
of that.
Yeah, and if anyone's really asking for dates on stuff, just a heads up, because I know I see it in the schedule post. Guys, we can't give you dates.
Yeah.
It's almost damn near impossible, because even when we do have it locked in, something happens where
Jason Statham drops a new movie and we got to get to it.
well, that or
Just a working man.
a claim or a block happens when it's sitting there. So anyone who's asking on dates, we're never gonna answer those. So
Just-
I mean, you can ask, but you don't anticipate an answer.
How about or if you're a Patreon member, you see the amazing trailers that Diamond Dave drops to show you what's coming in that month. At least that's I think the best we can.
Yeah, well,
really
even on
do.
Patreon and YouTube members, we tell them, hey, we'll give that. That's easy to control because we tell them the day, just not the time. Because even then, sometimes I miss a blur. You guys would be surprised too at how much you just put just a light blur on there, and the YouTube AI whatever blocks it. So you have to go harder with the blur. So there's a lot of things that happen. So that's why I never ever give times, just days, at least for the members of when it's coming.
You sounded like Michael Scott there. The YouTube is the YouTube going to be here?
The YouTube. But
Good
thank
old
you for the
Google.
super, Rixus.
We all know Google sucks. So
All right, Jerry G with a super chat. Thank you so much for that.
How we pay our bills, right?
Yes, I can join live now instead of waking up to a notification. Congratulations on a great achievement, and may you double the numbers soon. Hey, thank you. We appreciate that, and hopefully you're right with that. We can double the numbers.
Well, it's all because of all of you. Again, we're gonna sound like a broken record this whole stream with the 400K, but it's because of all of you. You guys choose to spend your time here, and we appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Marie, guys, watch Andor from the Star Wars universe. No need to have watched other movies or series. Okay, that's interesting. It's an incredible gate to Star Wars. Kisses from Brazil.
Well, thank you for the
again,
kisses.
we are, me, can't speak for these guys. I haven't seen 1 ounce except for the first 5 minutes of The Mandalorian. I haven't seen anything else Star Wars. Yes, I know of characters, but I do not know any story plots or what it's really all about.
Be
So
hard to not
we
know
will be doing a whole gambit of Star Wars coming eventually here.
Soon-ish. Not really.
Not even soonish, but just eventually.
Eventually.
In time.
Eventually.
In
Yeah, because
time.
there's a whole lot of content there for us to go through, and
think?
and recommendations from all
Yeah.
of you as far as like the TV series. Because I don't know if the Disney shows or whatever, do those have to be done in a certain order as it relates to the movies and whatever spinoffs? That I don't know, and maybe you folks
We'll need
can help
Charlie
us out with
Day's whole
Yeah, the
map that
chart.
he has of the chart of how we're supposed to watch all this.
All right, Aria Isara, thank you so much for the super chat. Congrats on 400K. I've never seen any Fast and Furious movies, and hearing you talk about it, I don't plan on watching. LOL. You don't know what you're missing.
Well, they're
The first
good.
one was good, right?
They're fun.
They're all good.
Just turn off your brain. It's basically that kind of films. It's fun. Turn off your brain and you'll
I
be
wouldn't call it a
entertained.
film.
But
It's a movie.
I think it's fair to point out that they do a good job with having such a large ensemble cast of getting you invested in the characters, and you'll have fun with them.
That
So there's that. And like I said, for the over the top stuff, we talked about that in like the first hour of the stream. Just
Yeah, you
have fun with it.
Basically, after number 5, that's when they start really doing. And they were doing some outlandish stuff, but it was still like credible,
Believable,
almost
yeah.
like we're all right. That's a pass. Then they kind of take it and go left field with it. But now they're going to be more
Like you
grounded.
really can do an ejectocito.
Ejectocito, cuz.
What do you think the first Fast and Furious did on market prices for the Dodge Charger and Supras? I mean, not that they weren't.
Well,
already-
they had Vin Diesel doing their commercials for a while, so I'm guessing it
It's
probably
not
did
that
okay.
that Charger style wasn't already popular and Supras weren't
Yeah,
already
thanks to
popular,
Dukes of Hazzard.
but it feels like it really just pushed it back to next level.
I think it did a lot for the car culture.
Now,
to
if you
kinda
want a
bring it to
black
the
Dodge
mainstream.
Charger, you're gonna have to crack open your wallet to the tune
No,
of
no,
six
we'll just buy
figures.
one of those. That's cheap.
I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Basically, it's got the same horsepower.
You'll get that same you get the same endorphin rush when you buy it.
I was going to
for sure.
say you get the same gas mileage.
There's a guy in Green Bay selling a black Resto mod. It doesn't have the blower like Dom's, but he just dropped it from about 118 down to about 100. Be a write-off for the channel. The channel owns.
We still have to pay for it.
like it's
It's
free.
a write-off.
It's a write-off, Jerry.
Jerry.
It's a write-off, Jerry.
Do you know what a write-off is? No. Do you? No.
They do.
They do.
It's a write-off, Dave.
All right. Back to ZZVBC. Thank you for your super chat. Please react to Moving, Korean series. Happy 400K. Moving is on the list. It is on the list.
Nice.
So eventually we will get there.
Yeah, the Korean
eventually.
series, they haven't let us down one bit, and neither have your recommendations. So I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be real hard to top the glory now. I mean, we're 8 episodes in, and that's just pure epic.
Definitely
Unless
set the bar
unless
high.
the back end of 8, like really take a nosedive.
Shit the bed.
But a lot of folks have been saying in our comments on Patreon, they're like, it does not.
It does not. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
See,
Good.
Miss Park gets a Toyota Supra with a 2JZ engine, and she decides to go street racing. That's what happened.
No, I don't think that's what happens.
Highly doubt.
All right, Jake with
would
the
be
super
amazing.
chat.
From State Farm.
Would be amazing.
Do you guys hear about other anime you have yet to watch due to outside hype? Also, if Demon Slayer, Solo Leveling, and Jujutsu Kaisen are on the Jujutsu Kaisen are on the next poll, I'm going to have a tough time voting. I know Diamond Dave has the polls up. As far as your first question, do we hear about other anime that we've yet to watch due to outside hype? Not really. Pretty much all the anime hype, at least that I hear, is from all of you guys out there. So there'll be some things that just because we're doing anime, I'll have a couple of things pop up in my YouTube feed as far as like, I think Berserk is one I saw that was getting some new or traction on at least my feed, but I know you folks have talked about it before. So yeah, not really. It's all you folks.
Chewbacca.
I got there
Dana
eventually.
So, thank you for the super chat. Hi, boys. Congrats on the 400K subs. Much deserved. This live will help make the rest of my workday go by faster.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Thank you. Well, thank
We hope
you
so.
for joining in, along with 438 other people right now. So, good crowd. Answer your birthday party, I think, was still our peak as far as our live numbers.
Yeah, because we kept hitting we kept having to call out the record numbers and we hit them. But,
Well, just for his birthday party, we've had others where it was higher, but for your birthday.
When we started at GTA 5, we had over 1,000.
We should order some cake.
No, 406 is where we peaked at for my birthday.
Oh, well.
So we're higher than that.
oh, it's for the folks
It's a
living
more
in
important
America.
day. It's a more important
More important day.
Yeah, for the folks in America, they're coming back to work after a holiday weekend. I mean, let's be honest.
Like they want
Not much is getting done.
Not much is getting done.
Much.
You're taking it easy.
On a Monday. Clarice Valente. Hello, Clarice. Thank you for the super chat. Nothing came through. If you drop a comment, we'll check that out. But otherwise, thank
nothing
you
came through.
very much. All right. Sid James, thank you for another super chat. Paul's family are the reason of Brian's return in 11. Well, if the
That could
family's
be too.
approving it,
Yep.
that's
Well,
how do you
did
argue
get
with that?
taken. Or no, John saved her. Yeah, John saved him. Never mind. John made the big save.
Yeah,
By the way,
is John really gone?
John Cena
Jacob
better not
really
be.
gone?
Yeah, Jacob better not be gone.
He'll be in the whole movie. You just can't see
But
him.
everyone else has made a comeback from death, so
Yep.
I don't believe that John's gone one bit.
So we shall see.
Captain Flowers.
about
Maya. How do you guys plan out when you're watching a show or movie? Do you use a streaming service and do you have to rent a movie sometimes?
Yes, it's all streaming, and we rent more than half the time on Amazon Prime. Shout out to Amazon Prime, where we rent all of our stuff
You're welcome,
and pay for our
We're keeping the lights
AMC
on.
Plus subscription and our Apple Plus subscription. So
Via
Amazon Prime is really getting a lot of money from us. They're at Amazon Prime.
Until 28 days.
Did we say the title of where we rent our stuff? Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Trying to get a kickback.
Thanks for reminding me, Diamond Dave. That's right. I have to cancel my Apple Plus subscription because the $3.99 introductory rate ends this month. So I got to
Guess where you can get it from? Amazon Prime.
Well, until 28
only for
days
3
later, it
months.
came out on streaming. We almost thought we were going to have to hardline a DVD player in here and
Well,
get it
yeah,
out
I
in your
know.
cabin.
Hopefully, it's still up
You
on
signed
because
up
we got to
for
get to those films too.
TV for $3.99.
Yeah, it was their promotional because I wanted to watch Long Way Home with Ewan and Charlie.
What does it go to after that?
I think it goes. I don't know. It goes
$9.99.
Is it only 9? I thought they raised the
That's
price.
what our
to, like,
rate is
12.
on Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, there you go. But yeah, so I gotta cancel that.
Don't forget. Don't let
Again,
them get you.
you can sign up on Amazon Prime.
This guy.
We're not
All
getting
right.
paid. We're not getting paid by it. I just want to throw it out
You know,
there.
I really like Corvettes. I think they're awesome.
You know what's great?
Conan O'Brien used to always do that.
You know what's a great
KFC.
service better than Google? Amazon Prime.
You know, it'd be nice if we could get some early copies of some movies and TV shows
From where?
Amazon Prime.
or the studio. Captain Flowers with the super chat.
Moving on.
Thank you for that very much. Congrats on the 400K, guys. What's some of y'all favorite things you've reacted to that you never would have watched without the channel? Thanks for all the laughs through the years. 500K next. Well, thank you for that, Captain Flowers. For me, right quick, I'll just say The Glory because we're doing it right now. And that's one that would have had 0% chance of me ever watching that without the channel.
Mine would have been that you and I watched, The Parasite,
Yeah,
because
Parasite.
I would have never watched that either. And even seeing that it was an Oscar-winning movie, I still would not have watched it or had any interest.
Same here. The most recent is The Glory. On Netflix. On Netflix.
Get your counter fixed.
But there's a whole thing list through it. Like if we pulled up the whole catalog, we'd have a list here quite for an hour probably. But The Glory, definitely Squid Games, the Peaky Blinders are
Even
just
like
three
Invincible. Like I never would have watched
Invincible.
Invincible.
you know, things like that.
You'd have
So-
never have watched 10 Things I Hate About You and had your most favorite scene ever.
Just licking his collar.
So you can't lick a stitches.
Yeah, I think for me it was probably Peaky Blinders again because I skipped over it and we came back to it and then I was like, oh man, I can't believe I threw
almost
in-
feel guilty.
I don't know if I was just in a mood the first time I watched it or I was just being like angry old man Quinn. I can't understand what these guys are saying.
no.
I'm out.
But
right,
yeah,
I'll
Severance
try
is
it.
another one. Praise Cure.
Praise Cure.
And then real quick, I saw CT saying studios must take reaction channels. Some of them do. Some of them don't because some of them do work with certain reactors. I mean, Real Rejects gets early copies. I think Heroes Reforged sometimes get early advanced copies. There's a couple other reactors out there too, but so some do, some don't, and then even some of the India films that we've seen.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for this channel, no way would I have ever heard of KGF or Three Idiots.
I know. All Three Idiots. I watched it
So-
again on my plane ride. That's how good that movie is.
Absolutely.
Hey, someone's
Attack
even
on Titan.
Yeah.
Zero chance.
Yeah.
Anime would ever been on the
Death
radar.
Note, never would have watched Death
Zero.
Note. You know, there's a, you could say, I mean, it would be easier if we said like 95% of the things we've done in this channel, we wouldn't have watched without the channel. That's a fairly safe bet. I
Yep.
think.
And you're right. We should get Diamond Dave and Oak to watch The Parasite. I think they would.
I think we're going to, at some point, Oak and I will, just like you two will be watching Train to Busan because I think we need to watch the second one. I know because they're doing an American version
Yep.
too. Obviously, I don't think it'll have any correlation to those two, but so yeah, eventually those will happen just so we can all be caught up. And then Answer is going to be starting his Stranger Things run here too.
Stranger Things, be starting for the
Hopefully
answer.
it lives up to the hype.
I'm sure that won't be a problem.
Thanks, Captain Flowers.
So
we
thank you,
shall
Captain.
see.
Thank you for the super.
Clarice Valente is back again. Hello from Brazil, guys. Do you think about reacting to any Brazilian movies? Like I'm Still Here, City of God. There are so many good movies. I know City of God has been
of God.
recommended, and I'm not going to say I'm familiar with it, but I've heard of it. Whether that's because of the channel or, you know, maybe something in the news or whatever it might be. But yeah,
We'll have to write those down just in case. So
Writing things down. Go ahead.
you like writing things down.
Brooksy, thank you for the super chat. Only been subscribed for 2 years, but it's amazing to see your growth, the opinions, the laughs, the editing. Videos keep getting better and better. Thank you very much for the super chat, Brooksy. Yeah, it's funny when we go back and look at some of the early videos, like, we've come a long way. You know?
Come a long way from watching on a laptop.
Yeah. So,
laptop
folks.
screen about that big.
So Mason Quinn will be watching Black Widow. Answer and I did a reaction to that. Don't even watch that horrible edit because it was way early on.
Hey, don't quit being
it's
too
terrible.
hard on
It's
yourself.
terrible. But
Everyone has
Quinn
their
will be doing some things that are not in, the actual dropping timeline of Marvel because Quinn has to catch up. Remember, folks, we have said multiple times that Mason Quinn, on some of the stuff that he wasn't part of, whether it was just Answer and I or whatnot, that he only got the quick tidbits of what Answer and I thought were important enough to get
bullet
Quinn
points,
by. But now that we're going to be going into Thunderbolts, it might be best for him to at least watch Black Widow
And I think he'll enjoy it too.
and kind of so that way he can definitely see David Harbour's character and all those other characters, and he'll have a decent idea of what's really going on instead of being like, all right.
Is the real Captain America Wyatt Russell in Black Widow?
Quiet you.
No, you'll have to watch and
You'll have
see
to
what
watch it
happens.
find out.
No spoilers. It's my guy,
We know.
John Walker.
We know.
All right.
We know.
Totally justified.
Matthew Miller, thank you so much for the super chat. For 500,000, cage match between you two.
Oh.
That's in reference, folks, to earlier. if you
Earlier
didn't
to them.
make it.
It would be a battle of live action
Hold it
staying the same versus embellishing the story.
For the championship
Put this in
title.
the middle of you two for what you're fighting.
Yeah, it'd be
for.
like a WWE poster where we're like,
Or just do the, hey, we need the pose for the hard cam.
Wait, I gotta
just
look-
hold the title up.
hold the title,
and stare at
point.
each other. Nope, just got to stare at each other for 5 minutes in front of a live crowd, just so we can get our shot.
And you gotta look at
And
the
then you
have-
can go.
and you gotta look at the bad medicine behind you.
No, what are you talking about?
They point to it.
We're not pointing. You're talking about Mania. We're talking about a championship
battle
title.
between us.
They're
Like
doing
Where,
both.
where they stand there for fucking 5
Or
minutes.
it'd be like if we had a tag team
it's gonna
match
be-
against you two, we won, I hold up the title, or Oak holds up the title, and then the other one is looking at it as, oh, no, I wasn't looking at
These
the title.
fucking
I
guys
was looking at you.
arguing over. All right.
Thanks, Matt.
Sukharsh Sekhan, thank you for the super chat. Hey, you guys should watch the Ramayana teaser starring your favorites Ranbir Kapoor from Animal and Yash from KGF.
Oh, nice.
Hans Zimmer is composing the
Wow.
music for the film, and congrats on 400K
They're
love
both-
from India.
They're both in there, so we got Kapoor and Yash in there. That's gonna like
Yash.
break every record there is.
Well, and folks,
Because Ranbir Kapoor he's been awesome in everything we've seen him in, from
just
doing the
give him a
romantic
5?
comedy to doing Animal.
A total difference of characters.
well, and it's tough too because we get a lot of the India recommendations, but we don't have access to a lot of it. Like Dongle.
Dongle was when we could.
We want to watch it because it has a wrestling influence on it, but we have zero access, no matter if it's on AHA, Z5, and Prime, Netflix, all these other things that Amazon Prime, Netflix, they don't have anything to do with it. So at some point, someday, when we have access to it, hopefully we can get to it.
Yep. Beatrix MS with the super chat. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you for the super.
And I think that's supposed to be hugs from Barcelona, Spain. Do you plan
Hughes.
to watch the HBO Max Harry Potter TV series? Keep up the good work. Yeah, absolutely. We
Absolutely.
I think we talked about that on one of our last lives. We kind of discussed a little bit, and yeah, that's going to be a fun one that I think we're all excited for.
Yep, I can't wait to see it because I don't know anything about the books.
Can't wait to see their
the way they're doing their
interpretation.
seasons, the way they're doing their seasons is per book. So looking forward to it.
Is it bad that part of me, when I hear about the Harry Potter TV series being back on HBO Max, part of me is like, yeah, that's right. You crawl back and you call yourself HBO Max. You never should have changed it to Max. Nobody was buying that.
Diamond Dave
HBO
never
Max
called it
is
that.
what you should be called.
Never called it Max.
2 years, never called it Max. It was always
once.
HBO Max.
Sebastian, thank you for the super chat. Hi, guys. Hope you are well. If Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise were to reunite in a movie again, what should it be about and who should direct it? I think it's got to be
Interview
about...
with a Vampire Part 2.
I think it's got to be about racing, and I think Michael Bay has to direct it with Jerry Bruckheimer.
Not Michael Bay at all.
new
'cause it's
Mummy.
only action. It'll be zero story. You got to get Nolan with these two. I would love to see Tom Cruise work with Nolan. Can you imagine?
What about Bruckheimer?
I'm not against it, but what is it? What are they going to do?
It's a movie about racing with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Days of Thunder
Days
2's
coming
too?
out.
It's just a movie about racing with a man.
Well, okay, if Brad Pitt's in there, then yes. But Brad Pitt was kind of joking. He said he'll work with Tom, just not in the air. So
He'll be
Either
Cole
way.
Trickle's older brother.
Just because, so I've watched it before, but the other day I rewatched Inglourious Bastards, and I think it'd be a lot of fun if those two were in a Quentin Tarantino movie. I think that could be a lot of fun and something a little bit different for them, which I think would be fun. It's always fun seeing actors do little bit different things.
Denis directing these two would be
We
top-notch,
still
too.
have.
What's his last name?
I
Dave?
butcher it.
How do you say his last name?
Villanueva? I butcher it.
So this was then a pitcher for the Brewers.
Yeah. I butcher his name. I just know how to say his first name.
We're
Denis.
still
Charlie
waiting on,
Villanueva
and Tom
played for the
Cruise
Bucks.
he's been teasing it for years. A Les Grossman spinoff from Tropic Thunder.
Well, I know they were
I
talking
haven't
about
seen
it.
Tropic Thunder. So
We got to get
Tom
him.
Cruise's finest.
This guy hasn't seen
performance.
Tropic Thunder
He
yet.
needs to see
Finest
that. He needs to see
performance.
Dodgeball.
Well, the words.
yeah.
And
A couple other Ben
Yeah, so
Stiller
yeah,
movies.
that would be that's the thing with like Pitt and Cruz. Like, do you take the standard safe route of what you expect them to do, or do you do something a little bit different and blow people's minds? Like, I always go back to Robin Williams in 12-Hour Photo or whatever it was, or Photo Booth, or
Haven't seen
Oh,
it.
with Robin Williams.
yeah, with Robin
1 hour
Williams.
photo.
1 hour photo, where he's the
Haven't
bad
seen it.
guy to like blow people's minds. So yeah, thank you, Sebastian.
He crushed that role.
all right, that was Sebastian. So now Jerry G back again.
Thank you.
so much for the super chat for the challenges. Have you considered a wet T-shirt contest?
Nope.
Seriously though, I'm sure whatever you do will be fun, but please no more hot food. Nah. We got to do some hot food, cause so that way I can get the belt.
I don't know. I mean, how do you the wet t-shirt contest? Who can be the wettest? I mean, it's. I guess it'd have to be. You'd have to have a live audience judging and giving 1 through 5 scores, I suppose.
Wow, I might as well just keep the belt now.
I mean, that's being a little boastful, don't you think?
You always wear white, so you're always ready, willing, and able.
That's
to
true.
do it.
You never know when a wet t-shirt contest is just going to pop
what's
up.
gonna happen, so I got to be prepared.
I like to be prepared. Like Mark Wahlberg and Pain and Gain. Why are you wearing OR scrubs? I like to be prepared.
Remember when we were watching fucking
Twisters?
Twisters and Glenn Powell comes out of the house with his fucking cowboy hat on and his
Skin tight.
white t-shirt,
Skin tight.
painted on tighter than mine, and it's raining. My fiance was watching it again the other day. Twisters is on.
Sorry, honey, I didn't know you were home.
Twisters is on like 24/7 at my house, which is, you know what?
If you feel it.
It's fine.
Chase.
It's fine. It's Glenn Powell. It's fine. But every time,
Because you know you can't compete.
every time, like, who the fuck can?
I know.
Every
That's what I'm
time
saying.
that scene comes on, would have been one thing, handsome Glenn with just the white T-shirt in the rain, or the white T-shirt and the cowboy hat going out to his Dodge truck. Oh, and it just happens to be raining. Fuck off, Glenn. We love you.
Jeez, if that was a VHS, that part would be worn out at the old household.
Why is this part gets all scratchy? Why is this part all scratchy? I don't know. I don't know what happened to the tape.
Thanks, Jerry.
Maybe we can try to reach out to Glenn Powell's people and see if Glenn would want to come on the channel for a wet T-shirt contest.
No, but
Pop the
we can
ratings.
talk to his people about something else. So
We'll see.
Well, if anybody knows Glenn's people, let us know.
Let us know.
Or Glenn, if you're watching.
yeah, Glenn, if you're so bored that you're watching this stream,
You don't have any work going on right now.
holler at us.
No.
Holler at us.
All right, Sebastian with the super chat. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
that.
again.
How familiar are you with wrestler Robert Swenson, who played Bane in Batman and Robin?
Zero.
Yeah, the only thing I know about him is that he was a wrestler and he did play Bane, and he was incredibly
Why
jacked.
don't you just repeat the question?
Well, no, because I knew he was a wrestler.
It was just
Yeah.
funny. It's like you basically. The only thing I knew was what the question just
Well,
said.
yeah, exactly.
I know, but
Because
that's-
I did
off.
look up
Funny.
who played Bane. I'm like, oh, this guy's a wrestler. Okay, and that was where my knowledge stopped.
I know, but still,
So you
it's
pretty
just-
much gave away the spoiler
Yeah, I don't-
there with my level of knowledge.
I don't
about
know
him.
if he was a jobber or if he had
I know
any
he was
sort of
I know he
push.
was controversial for a few different reasons in wrestling, which I don't think I can say on YouTube because it's probably not YouTube safe for the kid gloves that they play with here.
Well, let's not then.
Yeah, go away. It sure did.
Oh, see what happened? You just mentioned
All
it.
right, La Taku, thank you for the super chat. Congrats on 400K subs. Question for all of you: top 3 favorite Bollywood movies. Love from India.
We'd have to go look at our kid.
Yeah, that would be tough. RRR was pretty wild. Vikram. And I think, which one was the romantic comedy?
It was like
yeah,
ZMDB or something like that. I
ZMDB.
apologize if I'm getting it wrong.
Those are some of my favorites. That's just look, they've all been great, but I think off the top of my head, those 3.
Yeah, for me
you
it
were
would
with
be
us at 3.
for me it'd be Three Idiots. Again, if I know this is wrong, it's not ZMDB, but it's something like that. I remember I got
us
the
know.
pronunciation right. That was awesome. And then I would have to say like Bahubali, I think. Maybe a
Bahubali!
close tie with KGF because KGF was like our introduction to that. So that's always going to kind of hold a special place, I think. But yeah, it'd be between those two.
It's got to be Three Idiots. That
Is that considered? I can't
it
remember.
would be because they break out into
Yeah, that's pretty much, a lot of folks recommended it. So yeah.
So and then I loved KGF. I know it's so over the top and great, but congratulations, I love you.
Yeah,
But,
but that
come
was
on,
our
I love that
introduction.
one. So then that was our introduction. So it holds
No,
a
what's
special
this?
place.
ZNMD.
ZNMD.
Yeah, ZNMD. That's what it was. Yeah. Wasn't this from?
That was from.
Oh, is it Ye Jawani Hai Diwani was great.
Yeah,
too.
that
that
one. Yeah,
was
with,
really good too.
with Kapoor was in that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was one of the
yeah.
best romantic comedies I think I've ever seen. It was
Yeah,
up there.
that one ranks up there as well too. Dave.
Yeah, I would have to say Bahubali. That was entertaining, and then RRR. That's considered Bollywood, and then KGF because that was just wild.
And again, I think it's so different when that's your first introduction to that world. It's always going to be a little
Pushpa.
high regard.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yep.
That hand motion was from Pushpa.
That's what it was. Yeah. That was great.
He did the high. We were doing the high five.
All right,
Nailed it.
Thank you for the super. Jake
Thank you
is
so
back
much.
again. Jake, thank you for your super, of course. If there was a parody sketch portraying you guys, I'd imagine the guy playing Quinn saying, "Folks, I've seen this before, but gosh, it was like a week ago, so might as well be a first time watch." You are in for a treat. Yes, that the amount of content the amount of content that we go through. A lot of stuff going on up in the hard drive up here, and it starts getting full after a while.
Try getting him a
There's
external
something to
hard
be
drive,
said
but it's
for when
not
you
working.
watch a movie once 20 years ago. You know,
Right.
it's like I remember exactly what happened. You know, you get the overall gist of the film, but you're not going to remember every scene or the funny parts or whatever. You know,
Yep.
so it's fair.
Yep. Thank you, Jake.
All right, yeah, boy, with a super chat. I mean, I'm really thinking about this one. Would you guys rather fight 100 chicken-sized horses or one horse-sized chicken?
Well, what do you think, Answer?
Jeez, what kind of?
I could take
question
the
is
horses.
that?
I think I could take the chicken-sized horses. You just got to kick them. Well, they're the size of a chicken. Chickens can get pretty big, though, right?
Yeah.
So like they're the size of like a small
If-
dog. If
yeah.
they're the size of a small dog, but
And there's
imagine
100 of them.
imagine the horse-sized chicken. They got claws and they would tear you limb from limb. Like there was a turkey that was going through the backyard and our two dogs were going to go after it, and it's like you may take out the turkey, but that thing's going to leave a mark on you guys.
Yeah, they
before
got
you do it.
the big old spurs on the back.
So a horse-sized chicken. I mean that's going like 5 rounds until a knockout's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Do I get a machete?
I think the chicken-sized horses, I just feel that I could talk some sense into them. Maybe you could bribe them,
Oh, you could.
and maybe you could kind of get them to not be as aggressive. But like with
talk nice to 'em?
with a horse-sized chicken, that thing's gonna do whatever it wants.
Hey, it's it says right there in the thing. You have to fight it.
Would you rather fight?
There's going to be a
But
fight.
I could do the Crocodile Dundee thing, and
We don't
maybe
get to talk it out of it.
No,
There's gonna be a
there's no
fight.
or. It's just a fight.
So I gotta fight it?
You gotta
confrontation's
fight.
happening.
Well,
You
then I
got to
feel
get the
like-
hands dirty.
Well, then I feel like it would either be a slow death or a fast death. Which one do I want? The slow death would be the 100 chicken-sized horses. The fast one would be a horse-sized chicken.
Well, the horse-sized chicken, is it like the chicken in Moana, where it's just and it's like falling off of stuff? Then you got a chance,
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
but it's very resilient though on top of it. So then
yeah.
I think you're damned if you do, damned.
It's slow versus fast. How do you want to go out?
What sort of
I'm
weapon?
taking on the look. You take a horse and you make it a chicken size. They don't have sharp teeth. The leg muscles aren't going to be enough to do a serious amount of damage with kicking and stuff like that.
Yeah, but there's
Their
100.
head is a large target, so if you want,
There's
to
100 of them just flooding at
Yeah, but they can only get so many at you at one time. You know what I'm saying? They can't all attack you at the same time.
Why
Oh,
couldn't
they
they?
did in the Matrix.
Yeah, what if you were in a field or you had an Agent Smith like in the Matrix?
And they all piled on top of Neo.
Look, a horse-sized chicken would have very sharp talons, large. Would be able to do a lot more damage than I think those horses. I'm going with the horses.
All right.
What's your theory?
I'm not on screen yet, but mine. I'm gonna drag it out. Yep, there we go. Hold on, folks. I'll get on screen in a second. Way to not drag that out, gentlemen. All right.
Wow, I didn't know something serious. Was
Yeah.
Yeah, so
know if OBS
horse-sized, 100 chicken, horse-sized. 100 chickens that are horse-sized or one horse-sized chicken. Now, I'd have to go to the one horse-sized chicken. As long as you don't get pecked, you should be able to take it out.
Or you can ride that thing and just take her out.
All right.
Well, there we go.
You heard it here, folks.
I'm going to talk the chicken down.
No,
He's
I know
gonna
I'm going
talk
to talk
sense into
I'm going to train the chicken-sized horses to not fight me. I mean, they're mammals. We got that going for each other. We can meet.
How
on
are you
the
going to
common
train it when
ground.
you're already in a fight?
I'm going to do the Crocodile Dundee thing.
Well, best of luck.
Yeah, but
best
we
of
said
luck.
he had to fight. So, like, even your boy in the chat said,
Talk some sense into him.
Best of luck to you.
Leah Davis with a super chat. Thank you so much for that. Would you ever play Jackbox games with the audience? They're party games that lots of people can join. Yeah.
Jackbox.
So you play it on your phone, and like what you do is you end up getting into like a satellite where you can play with a bunch of different people. Because like we do it we've done it with family members that live all over the place. That was my wife and. I did
Yes,
it
that
before
one
the
is
next-
kind of up in the
Yeah, because we'd have to
air.
be able to be on our phones, film it, but then chuck the screen of what we're all seeing, the four of us are seeing for the audience to be able to see. That might be a little tricky.
You can't promise anything, but we can try to look into it.
Yeah, look into it.
Try to look into it. Thanks, Leah.
The Octopus. Thank you so much for the super chat. Enough messing around. Let's go. Let's get to Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, so like we have sorry, I just looked over and saw that. I don't know why it made me laugh. We have the rest of Uncharted 4, and then Spider-Man 2 will be dropping, and then Last of Us with us. And then we'll definitely get to that at some point. Like I said, I have it downloaded. I have it on the system, so we can get to it soon. When we get to it.
Demon of Chaos with the super chat.
Thank you, Demon.
Thank you, Demon. That belt
Demon.
looking rather comfy on the answer.
Wow.
Don't get too comfortable.
It knows
with
where
the
it
answer.
belongs.
Just keep keeping it warm for everybody.
Well,
Thank you
Said-
for saying it looks comfy on me.
You know, when we start doing these food challenge or whatever challenges, food, whatever, and we
be.
start going to these cities, hopefully we'll see some of y'all there.
Yeah, hopefully
Maybe we'll put the title on the line against y'all.
Hopefully go to Pete's Garage in Oshkosh and have that big ass burger and fries.
Navdeep Singh Bajaj, hope that's correct. React to Ramayana introduction trailer, please. Yep, we've had a request for that. I wrote that one down. Like I said, that's got a cast and Hans Zimmer that we're pretty excited about. So have to take a look.
Thank you for your super.
Yep. Marie Ramgirl with the super chat.
Rams.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank you for that. Diamond Dave's just going to get me back here on the screen. Right there. So Quinn, this F1 season has been wild. Was an exhilarating Silverstone race. Can't have a British GP without the rain. Yes, it was. Intense seeing drivers race in those conditions. Max struggled. Hulkenberg got a podium and a home win for Norris. Any plans to visit Silverstone in the future? That would absolutely be on my bucket list, along with a few other tracks. But yeah, the race was wild. I don't know how you watch it, if you watch it on Sky Sports 1 or if you watch it on the F1 app. The commentators were going on and on about the penalty that Oscar got and whether or not him slowing down with the pace car should have been a penalty. They really took me out of it. So what was a really cool race, the commentators kind of ruined it for me, but it was wild. I thought Lewis was going to get a hometown win and maybe work his way through. He was looking good, always does well at Silverstone. And yeah, the Red Bull was not set up for the rain, definitely not. So, but yeah, a fun race nonetheless. Good to see Nico getting his first podium after, 258 attempts? One of the longest running streaks there was. So yeah, a lot of fun. Thank you for the super. It was good times.
All right, and that concludes. All right, I'm back. All right, zoned out there. Jake from State Farm, thank you for the super chat. Just remember, we are all Egan. Praise Kier.
I really wish I had Milkshake, like a sound bit from Milkshake, so we could start playing. I'll start looking at that because he does such a great job with his deliveries. Good Lord.
what does he say? Devour fecal.
One of them. Either way, I need to get the sound bit with
I thought he was gonna.
Milkshake.
I just his delivery and his acting has been perfect for that
Yep.
character. Errol Owl. All right. Thank you for the super chat. This is quite a celebration with lots of fireworks included from Oak. Congratulations. Have any of you watched the wrestling series Heels?
I've seen the first season,
I have not seen it.
but I know it's on Netflix. Both seasons are on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix 'cause it started out on Stars or
It
something.
started off
wasn't
on
it?
Stars.
Yeah.
Yep. And then both seasons are on Netflix. I think Stars canceled them. That's why Netflix got them, if I'm getting this correct. And then they're maybe hoping Netflix audience is enough to maybe get Netflix to do a season 3 with them. I think that's what Amel's hoping for. Either, or I'm just making that up. Either way.
Yeah, because I have not
I'm just
seen it.
making shit up.
I heard good things. Heard good things.
Heard some things.
Yep.
Heard some things.
And then Dutch Daddy Gamers back again saying praise Kier.
Praise Kier.
I can't praise Kier. Can't
Yeah,
do it.
can't.
Well,
It's not
You
the
could
good
say
guy.
it, Joe.
you just said it.
Yeah, you just said it.
praise Kier.
Just did it.
Said can't do it.
We can.
He was
we can-
severed. He
we
was
can-
severed.
We can
That's why.
cut and
Yeah.
edit that.
Yeah.
Remy D, hey, thank you for the super chat. Hey guys, The Last of Us playthrough coming soon.
Yep.
Yes.
That's an easy one.
All
Remedy.
right.
Thanks,
And
Remedy.
thank you for the super chat.
Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes
Sometimes,
it's short.
you know,
You know, you kind of want to give them some more than just the yep, but there's really not much to elaborate.
can't
then.
elaborate,
It's
yeah.
Just yep.
All
Sorry,
right.
Remy.
Is it the Caesar from?
But you know, Remy, if you don't have any streaming service, you could go to Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
It's on Prime.
All right, Caesar F with the super chat. Thank you so much for that. The Green Book.
Don't know what that is. We will investigate it.
It's just so random. Green Book.
Yeah, the Green Book.
Big gulps, eh?
The goddamn book is green.
Damn.
It is
Book is
written down
green.
to investigate.
All
with
right.
the quiz.
Thank you so much for that super chat. So we'll get that. And,
Thanks, Caesar F.
So, Tenapix with
He's Tenapix is
again.
back.
He's back. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, last one. One, angry oak is the best kind of oak.
Tasmanian Devil Oak.
Yeah, that's
Debatable.
Best oak.
Yeah.
Two, Hyperdrive is on Netflix. It features various real life street racers completing challenges.
Okay.
Interesting.
It's almost like a little game show
We should
element
see
to
what
it.
kind of challenges they do and see if we
We can recreate them.
None of us
You guys
are.
up for trashing your cars?
We're technically.
You're the one with a car here.
Yeah, we're technically not.
Well, yours has a
street
turbo.
racers.
I know.
like a
I know, it's
turbo.
in theory.
It's a
Enjoy
turbo, but
driving fast.
That's
so
right.
Maybe we'll just go rent some cars.
No.
That always goes.
that's
good.
probably what's best.
We'll go to the Porsche dealership. See if
like,
we can rent some for the day.
Be like Rowdy Burns and Cole Trickle at the rental car
Was it,
at Avis.
car trouble, right?
Was it all?
Car trouble.
Car Troll?
Yeah.
It was the radiator, wasn't it, Cole?
Brady.
I believe
It's
so.
Rowdy? I believe so.
It's just smoking.
Michaela Juarez, do you guys have K-pop Demon Hunters on your list?
It is on the list. Yes.
Now is that different from the regular Demon Hunters that we've had recommended, or because I've just recently
just
started
know-
to see K-pop Demon Hunters in front of it. I don't know if that's
Over the last
different
like
or not.
5 days, this has been highly
Yeah.
recommended. Just know, folks, it's not coming in the month of July, so we already have too much, but it is on the list. That I can say.
All right, and I'll just look for the chat to see if it is the same. You guys don't have to drop another chat on that one, but it is K-pop Demon Hunters the same as the Demon Hunters that's been recommended to us.
Thanks, Michaela.
Thank you.
Thanks. Remy D,
Thank you for your super.
forgot to say congrats, by the way. Have you guys thought about doing a bad movie series so bad it's funny? I recommend The Happening and Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
That is
This
something-
guy has not seen Street Fighter.
Yep.
So that would be a great one to do.
I was boycotting it.
with your man Jean-Claude.
I was boycotting Van Damme playing a video game
Okay, and
character.
Nikolai says yes. K-pop Demon Hunters. Oh, and Demon Slayer are two different shows. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nikolai. That's what I was getting confused with.
Okay.
I am not an anime expert.
Nikolai!
by any means.
I am
Not an anime expert.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. We discussed that in the past as well as doing bad movies just that they're so bad they're like hard to watch. But you saw us watch Twilight and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Why you gotta go after?
The first
Well, and
Twilight.
don't forget, the
Saltburn.
Death Note film is coming too.
Yeah.
So maybe that might kickstart.
Why you gotta go
According
after
to a lot of you,
Twilight like that?
it was not good.
Perfectly romantic scene when they were camping up in the mountains and it got real cold, and because Edward was a vampire, he couldn't keep Bella's body warm.
I can't believe it was a cut on the finger that made him go nuts and not I don't know,
Jasper.
every other teenage girl in the freaking high school.
Well, I mean,
Jasper
Edward
lost
was
his
able to control himself in the biology class.
Throw Bella into the fucking. She got a paper cut instead of Edward just being like, "Whoa, easy, Jasper! You got a chest shut cancer across across the room.
Well, I was protecting her.
Oh, Jasper's going to be at Fan Expo in Chicago coming up in August.
You have to bring him a styrofoam cup.
You have to go.
Oh, that was the worst part of that movie is her fucking drink out of the styrofoam.
So stupid.
That was so gross.
Oh my God.
All right, Noel Reeds, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, y'all, love watching your videos. The Hunger Games reaction is my fave. If you haven't seen it, I recommend Spy 2015. It has Melissa McCarthy, Jason Statham, Jude Law, etc. My fave movie of all time.
I don't think I've seen that.
I have seen it,
Retired man.
and it is
want to fight.
they will be highly entertained by
Oh,
it.
you've seen it?
Yeah, I've
All
seen
right.
it. Well, yeah, it's Melissa McCarthy, and like my wife loves her comedy, and so we.
How does she mix in with
Well,
Steve?
we-
Oh, you'll see, and it works.
And we
it's
loved
awesome.
Jude Law in the Sherlock Holmes series.
he's-
with RDJ. So
Oh, Jude Law is good in pretty much everything.
Thanks, Noel.
Yeah, it's
Thank
Jude
you.
Law.
Doc Leah, thank you for your super
Nice
chat.
profile picture.
It's like is that a cat?
It looks like a rabid rabbit.
Yeah.
Or
Either
a
way,
rabid cat?
I like it.
Rabid bat?
Congrats
Either way.
on the 400K. Cheers. Road to 500K, then 1 million soon.
We're hoping.
Love your reactions and insights on different shows. I hope you guys watch the K-drama Taxi Driver one day. Discussions on that would be 100% interesting. I will write
Well,
down.
that's just a 100, Quinn, as the kids say.
Well, I
100.
know. I was
Is it like anything like a
Wouldn't
taxi?
jump
I was
back in there.
improvising. I was doing what I do best, improvise. I'm writing it down.
Opinions vary.
Sebastian, thank you for your super. Do you think actors should be more open about the use of steroid enhancements to grow much muscles for certain roles? Is it an issue in your opinion? I don't think it's not an issue in my opinion.
No.
But as far as them coming out to say it, it's interesting, right? Because there is a niche on YouTube where men and women are very open about it, and folks are cool about it. At least their viewers, their audience is pretty cool about it. As far as like their brand, they remember they got a team telling them, "Hey,
Dwayne.
you can't say this, even if it is test, right? You can't say this because their team views it as whatever it may be, right? So they feel that it could be a negative impact on them. But for me personally, if they came out and said it, cool. If they didn't say it, cool. At the end of the day, I guess it's up to their team and them if they're comfortable in saying it. But for me, no issue.
I think the thing that people have to keep in mind is that these actors and actresses are getting paid a lot of money to look a certain way for a certain role, and there is a time frame in which they have to fit that appearance. And so, given the amount of money that's going into it and everything else, doctor supervised growth protocol. Look, as adults, I don't think anybody should care. I think there should be more transparency, just because of the fact that I think you have people who look up to these men and women who question whether it's attainable naturally, and when they say it is, it kind of creates a false narrative. But Diamond Dave did a really good job of explaining, look, these guys have PR teams, and at the end of the day, that while TRT can be prescribed for certain individuals, the look that people are going for to fit a movie role sometimes exceeds that of which can be achieved with just TRT. So at the end of the day, what they're doing is illegal. And so they're not going to come right out and admit it. And whether they have a responsibility to, who knows. But I think at the end of the day, people should be smart enough to know if somebody looks like maybe what they've accomplished is a little bit much, then it probably is. And there's just a general lack of understanding by the public of what is attainable and what's not. But if an actor puts on 30 pounds for a role in even a 6-month time period, it wasn't eating chicken and working out 3 times a day. That is the
typical chicken, rice,
what
broccoli
were you doing?
answer.
Well, I got with a trainer, worked out 3 times a day.
Yeah, see,
Took me 6 months. You look, 30 pounds in 6 months naturally is not attainable at all. It doesn't matter what age you're at.
But to add to that, in fairness, though, if they are going to do that, you still have to put in the work to eat. Because I know we joke around the chicken, rice, broccoli diet, right? But you still have to eat and still do the work.
And that's a really good point you bring up, Diamond Dave, because so many
we're
people
talking about
look
false
at
narratives, right?
Yeah,
So it's
people,
not like you do it and then
it's so easy
there.
for the general population to be like, oh, well, they just did this or they just did that. Look,
we'll take Hugh Jackman for an example. The level of conditioning that he achieved for the most recent, Deadpool and Wolverine, and of course the Wolverine where he popped out of the water and went, rah, was he all natural? I would say absolutely not. Did he have to completely work his ass off to look like that? Absolutely. The Rock, Alan Ritchson, all these actors that look a certain way for film role and television roles, that does not come without an immense amount of hard work and dedication and dieting and all that. Are they all natural? Likely not. Can they say that? Likely not. But again, that's a very good point that Dave makes, is that it does not take away from the amount of hard work that they have to put in. And there's this understanding by people, well, they just took some stuff and whatever.
Yeah,
It's
that does not work.
It's
that
like,
way.
but if you ask, look, we joke about it on the channel. It's joked about the Marvel diet. Oh, I put on 30 pounds. Will Smith for Ali, Chris Evans for Captain America, Chris Hemsworth for his Thor roles. I mean,
we're speculating.
completely.
Speculating.
But
Our word is not
if
gospel.
anybody looks like they put on a lot of muscle in a short period of time, just do the math. And at one point, it's almost like you put it on. You put it on the audiences to be like,
Yeah.
Are you really confused about what's happening here? Is this a question that needed to be answered? It's like certain things that happen in movies, like, oh, did so and so really drive the car at 200 miles an hour? Like,
Right.
no, it was probably didn't happen, but again, transparency. Diamond Dave nailed it. They can't always be transparent about it, so it's up to the audiences to either just enjoy it or figure it out on their own, I guess.
Yeah, and it's too bad they can't be honest about it, because you've got a whole population that's completely misinformed on what's possible, what's not possible, and then you go down, a really slippery slope of, people worried about body image and that whole thing, and that's just a whole nother can of worms you could get into. So it's unfortunate they can't be honest about it, because I think it would be a lot better for everybody if they could be. Unfortunately, they can't be, not yet. Who knows what the future holds as far as what will be legal, what won't be.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of those, I'm sure some probably said, well, why can't we, right? Because let's just be completely honest about it. That way we don't have to be like, well, it's only just diet and working out 7 times a day.
Alan Ritchson came right out and said, "Hey, I'm on TRT," and I think The Rock has said, "I'm on TRT," which, for those of you who don't know, is just testosterone replacement therapy, taking a dosage that puts you at an optimal. But there's still certain size limitation that you can reach on that. That's not to say, look, somebody like Alan Ritchson, with really good genetics and TRT at his age, could he achieve that look? I would say it's possible. He's not. He's not, pro bodybuilder level jacked. So there are a lot of physiques that are attainable like that. It's just when you see it in such a short period of time and prep for a movie role, and then right after the movie role, they just go back to looking like a normal person. It's a pretty clear sign.
Well, we've seen that actors will do anything to their bodies. I mean, look at Tom Hanks for Castaway.
I mean, look at Christian Bale.
Matt Damon
Bale.
got within the span of 2 years, he got ripped for a movie, and then he gained 40 pounds just eating Krispy Kremes and stuff, so that way he could be a bigger guy.
Yeah,
and then he had to go back to get in shape.
Yeah, so and look, and I'm sure some of these.
So it's not just that people getting bigger and jacked; it's also them. Look, Christian Bale for Jared Leto, where they were
Machinist.
Yeah, where he was he said he was eating.
Never seen it though, but I have heard the story about it.
He was having just skin of an apple.
I mean, Christian Bale, I would say the most extreme thing I've ever seen from an actor is Christian Bale for The Machinist, because he got down to a very, very unhealthy body fat level. And again, it's a matter of, hey, this is the movie that's coming out. This is the physique we'd like you to have. And how can we get you to this? And by the way, we're going to pay you a few $1 million. So just keep that in mind. And anybody sitting at home, it's like, people like to question. It's the same thing with professional athletes. Oh, how could they do that? How could they do that? It's like, well, if somebody put $1 million in front of you, you tell me that you would be like, nope, sorry, guys.
Well, let us ask you folks, too. I know the question is for us, but do you folks want transparency through the actors and actresses? I mean, to me, it's like, why do we even have to talk about it? But, from them, they shouldn't have to announce, hey, guys, I did this, but... I mean, if it matters to you, maybe they should.
Well, I think,
but to me, it's like,
well, then if Hollywood does it, then what happens to professional sports who have claimed to be squeaky clean for so many years and all that?
McMahon said he had a test.
And things start to snowball from there. So it's tricky until things are legal. It's very difficult.
TRT is legal, and look, the thing that you have to understand about the people in Hollywood, and I think this is a very important distinction to make, is the men and women that are in Hollywood, everything they're doing, whether it's legal dosages or not, whether it's legal substances or not, is being done under doctor supervision, is being monitored by professionals. They're having regular blood work done to make sure their health is where it needs to be and all sorts of things. Now, if you're just saying The Rock used this to get big, and then you get how many people saying, well, I'm going to do what The Rock does. Do you have the doctor supervision that The Rock does? Do you have the blood work that The Rock does? Are you under the same sort of, are you using stuff from a pharmacy? Are you getting some underground shit making somebody's bathtub? So there's that danger in The Rock did this to get to this physique for this role. And then some young kid saying, well, that's what I need to do. I'm going to do that, not taking into considerations all of the safety protocols that are also in place for these actors and actresses when they do this. It's not the same as some gym bro, just doing whatever to put on 15 pounds of muscle for whatever, as when an actor is doing this for a major project.
That is, some folks are bringing up some good points, like teens and kids.
Yeah,
no transparency.
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm saying.
They're
You have teenage
misleading,
kids.
like they're kind of misleading, just saying, oh, just chicken and diet, chicken, rice, and broccoli and that kind of diet. While yes, that's a big component. That's a very big component because it's clean eating. But they're,
At the end,
maybe
at the end
We've
of the
all
day,
seen the after school special with Ben Affleck.
Oh, that was so bad. At the end of the day, however, and this is one thing that is in mind. I'm not saying that the actors and actresses aren't eating the 6 times a day and working out and doing the things with the
no,
trainer.
we're saying you have to do that.
You
on
have
top.
to do those things. So I'm not saying they're lying about the things that they're doing. I'm just saying they're also enhanced. So when you have somebody saying, well, I train 6 days a week, or The Rock likes to show himself training in his gym, and he works very, very hard. He trains everywhere he goes. And I think it's the the message that if you want to achieve that physique, you still have to work very, very hard. You are going to have to eat 6 days a week. You are going to, or 6 times a day. You are going to have 6 days a week. That's probably not good.
That's the only time you got to eat.
But so the message is, look, are you going to get the same results? No. But if you want to start, look, if a young kid sees The Rock talking about this, are you going to look like The Rock? Probably not, but is it good to do the same things that he's doing with the working out and the training? Yes. And one thing people need to take into consideration, and we're going too far on this, but like not everybody, look, we all have different genetics. And that's another dangerous thing is, look, The Rock, his build, and I just keep going to The Rock. I could use professional bodybuilders. We could use certain actors and actresses that put on a ton of weight. The way their body responds to something might be drastically different. I've seen people who were very accomplished natural bodybuilders who decided to go the anabolics route and not really have very good success with it because their body didn't respond in a certain fashion. And so I'm going to take more and more and more, and you still don't get the same results. So should there be more transparency? Yes. But again, the things that these guys are saying that they're doing to achieve a certain look, if a young kid says, okay, well, I'm going to try eating 5 times a day, and training 6 days a week, it's not going to be bad for them. It's just, look, are they going to get the same results? No, and that can be frustrating and being a bit demoralizing. But so there's there's a lot of it's a tricky question and
It's
a
tricky,
lot of discussion.
and just some of the comments there that were saying, because I asked the question, do you want transparency? And for the kids and teens too, I think some of you might have mentioned it in there. I think it is important too for at least the parents. If the kids ask, then at least the parents for sure should at least mention, like, hey, you probably don't have to go in detail as a parent, but just be like, hey, there's a little bit more into it. Maybe,
absolutely.
Then as a parent, you can kind of dictate where you need to go with it. But yeah, parents should probably help out along the way if the opportunity is there. Because I don't know how the situation would come up and be like, well, son, or well, daughter, hey, just so you know, that body is,
Tainted.
Right.
So
Nikolai dropped a really good question in the chat. I know it's not a super chat, but I'm just going to follow up with it because it was very pertinent. He had asked whether he thinks it's wrong, fitness celebrities and influencers and stuff that are using enhancements. Is it wrong that they're selling products and workout plans? And the answer is absolutely not, because they're still taking the products. And look, is that all they're taking? No. But if they're doing a workout and taking those products, those are all components of it. And look, at the end of the day, whether somebody wants to be very transparent, and look, now it's way more transparent now than it was.
Wait,
I mean,
like
I remember in the
oh, yeah.
90s, in the 90s, you would get bodybuilding magazines that never said one word about anabolics, and the bodybuilders couldn't even talk about it in the 90s. There's a video set that came out from like the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's like this round table, and everybody's faces are blurred out, and the voices are altered, and they're talking about the things that they've taken. So we are in an era right now where there's more transparency than there ever has been. Yeah, I mean, Bigger, Faster, Stronger. The movie came out, and it was like, oh wow, people are actually admitting to doing stuff. But look, there has to be a general realization of what's attainable and what's not. And people just you got to use their heads.
Well, we gave you a lot on that, Sebastian. So
Well,
thank
that's
you.
think about.
Thank
It's a
you
great
for the
question.
Yep.
Thank you for the question.
Hataru with the super chat. You guys are the highlight of my week every week.
Well, thank you.
I lost my father 2 years ago, and he reminds me a lot of the Oak. Thank you guys for being my new dads, LMAO. I know you're saying that in a lighthearted way, of course, but that is something serious, and we don't take comments like those lightly. It does mean a lot to us, and just to know that we provide some level of entertainment or relief for folks, whatever they might be going through. That weighs pretty heavy on us, certainly. So thank you for that, and glad that we could help you out.
Sorry for your loss, but it's awesome that we can still be here and like entertain you every week, and we'll keep doing that as long as you'll let us.
Yeah, well, the dad stuff and the uncle stuff.
He's got a lot of lessons
ages,
pulled from Terrifier.
The
for you
dad and
guys.
uncle stuff ages us a little bit, but we take it very happily. And as Mason Quinn said, it's always very, very humbling to hear that people look at us in that regard, because it's not what we had ever really aimed for or anything that we thought we'd be doing when we started this channel. But it's we love hearing that sort of stuff.
Yep. So thank you.
Golden Disposition. That's a very interesting name. Thank you for the super. Congrats on the 400K, much deserved. What's up with Reacher? Any plans to watch this year? Oh, and how's everybody feeling about the NFL firing 3 refs recently? Lots of love from Green Bay. Go Pack, go. Did not know about the NFL firing 3 refs. Did they let the secret out of the bag about it being rigged?
About the Chiefs. Yeah,
Wait, what?
Supposedly they did a few Chiefs games and
Well, let's pull it up here.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We'll pull up something here because I need to be educated on that. And then what's up with Reacher? Reacher is happening because we, Quinn and I, need to see season 2 and 3.
Yep.
Answer still has to see season 1. So that'll for sure be happening. But let's check this out about the NFL refs. Did you find it?
Yes, the NFL recently fired 3 officials following the 2024 season. James Carter, Robin DeLorenza, and Robert Richardson. Cited accountability for their dismissal. The decision appears to be part of a broader push for the NFL's training development to enhance accountability and use data analysis to evaluate their performance.
So that sounded very bland. to me.
Very bland. Like, we're not going to give you anything.
So, in an unprecedented move, the NFL is sending these officials to officiate college football games in Power 5 conferences,
We need more money.
effectively relegating them. This arrangement allows them to bypass the typical union grievance process associated with being fired. That's according to CBS Sports, but I'm pretty sure.
Whatever it takes to get Ohio State in the playoffs, right answer.
Oh, whatever it takes.
Nah, I'm just
Oh, hey,
teasing. I'm teasing all the chat members from Ohio. Just having a little fun with you.
So here's the big thing about it. They oversaw controversial Kansas City Chiefs victories during their Super Bowl run. Oh, whoopsie.
But Taylor Swift was getting us ratings answer. We had to keep that going.
It also says it's important to note that while reports of bribery scandal involving 4 referees officiating a Lions Commanders game exist on social media, there is no proof of any referees being fired for bribery based on information available. The NFL fired 3 officials and demoted 1 in April 2025 due to accountability issues and officiating performance concerns. So again, this is all
Purely
this
speculation.
This is not our words.
Purely
this is
speculation.
Google's words of reports we're finding here. So that's interesting that they're saying, hey, they did something bad, but we're not really going to dive into details. Well, that's interesting, folks. I did not know about
Maybe
that.
they need Jack Reacher to go in and clean up the NFL. Be a little combination there.
Well, and hey, let's just admit here that it's been probably whatever they did has been probably happening for the last 25 years because it seems like when there's a hot team, I will say Packers on this too. Well, let me say if there's a good quarterback, it seems that the NFL wants to protect those guys. So I do say Rodgers, Tom Brady. We have Pat Mahomes, right? And I'm probably forgetting. I bet you Jaden Daniels will watch this year. That guy, I'm sure will get some love this year for the top quarterbacks. So I don't know, folks. It's
Tom Brady
it's
getting
always,
a low hit. They put in a brand new rule right after that. Couldn't hit quarterbacks low.
Oh, and that Des Bryant, that was not a catch.
That was a catch, and that was a catch, and guess what? They came out just recently saying it was. So
But the
Did
letter,
they review it recently?
by the letter of the law of what that was a catch. Hey, you guys got a win from Calvin Johnson in the same exact fashion.
I don't know how they got that. To me, that was still a BS because he caught it. It
And
was
you
too.
were, hey,
it was
I was
2 feet
watching the
thin.
game with you, and
Yeah,
it's true.
that
He's like, that's a catch.
We'll take the win, but it was still bad.
Yeah.
Well, it was still a bad call.
And that's
By
why they got
that's
to the refs.
That's why I'll say it wasn't a catch because of the letter of the law. Now, personal opinion, yes, that was a catch.
Yeah.
But to the letter of the law at the time, that's why they reworded it.
of the law.
It wasn't a catch because he didn't control it through the ground.
But again, and
I'll take it.
maybe I'm naive, but again, these players still have to execute plays, even if the referees are involved, because it's not like they're banking on 100% that we'll say Travis Kelce. It's not a guarantee that he's catching that ball for the first down the next play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
but they get,
And if not,
but
it'll
when
be
there's-
holding.
But when
Well,
there's
it could
but
be
when
holding.
there's a flag that gives them 4 more opportunities to execute those plays.
again, you still have to
I've seen-
execute even with another flag coming in.
I've seen
is my
some,
point I'm trying
I've
to make.
seen some interesting discussions on refs and games, and you bring up a good point that the game still has to be played. And I've seen discussions about the refs they do enough and mix it up enough to give the team the advantage to win, and they only do it in the capacity that they need to win. And so it might be, hey, these 3 refs got paid to do this game, and look, the Chiefs came out and won fair and square. They didn't have to do anything. They still get the paycheck. But, okay, now it's getting a little bit close. Let's see if we can do 1 or 2 calls that aren't going to be blatantly obvious. But now if it's a situation where all of a sudden it's like try to do more reasonable stuff throughout the course of the game so it's not something that's blatantly obvious to impact the final outcome of the game.
Well, and to that point too, because sometimes during games late is where that mainly happens, right? Because there's a lot on the line. But if there was a couple plays in the first quarter that were executed better, second quarter, third quarter, even and the fourth
It can
quarter,
add up, yeah.
it can add up, and maybe we're not in that spot for a ref to be like, well, here's Vegas. Oh, well, let's
hey, I get it,
keep
but
it in line.
when a NBA ref flat out comes out and said, I fixed games,
Yep.
you're always going to have that speculation.
And
Well,
that
we
will
also have to look at
always be there.
players.
Always be there.
You also
Players
have to
can
look
do it
at
too.
players.
We saw it in Blue Chips.
Quarterbacks are throwing bad balls, receivers dropping balls, cornerbacks missing coverages, linebackers
right in the
missing
hands.
tackles. And people wonder like, but the integrity of the game and this and this and this. And it's like, not everybody has $100 million contract. If you're making, $5 million a year, which isn't a small amount, and of course risking it for whatever. Look, and somebody offers you $1 million for one game to make sure you drop the ball in the right situation. This is again purely speculative, but hey, look, some of these
And that's
speculation.
Yep.
We had the ref come out. That's where your mind wanders whether you want to or not. That's just where it wanders to.
A lot of money on
And
the
I
line
will do
to
my
have.
normal here, #NoPackNo.
Hey, and Vegas always wins. Hell,
What was the over-under on Joey Chestnut eating the hot dogs? 70 and a half.
how many did he have?
And that's one
70 and a half.
Yeah, so that's
Everyone pushed.
always there, right? Because you always see Vegas doing their thing, and it's if you just even look like how does one not be like, well, do they know? And how is it always on there? Now, yes, you could say, well, Dave, this side, but then there's always this side of it too. So
Yep.
either way.
Leah Davis with the super chat. Thank you again. Have you seen Epic Universe now that it's open?
What is that?
I'm not. Well, because you say now that
Epic
it's open, so that
Universe.
makes me think it's like a theme park.
Is that
or
like
something.
Universal Studios down? I know they were trying to do some stuff down there.
Yeah, Epic Universal Epic Universe. Yeah.
But good old Florida.
Oh, they have Super Nintendo World we could go to.
Yeah, we
Quinn.
do need to check out Nintendo World. Hey, is there any folks in
You
the
can
chat
get every coin.
that has checked out Nintendo World? I think it's in the West. Is it on the West Coast now? Oh, for sure. I know that. But is it on the East Coast now? Either way, let me know how Nintendo World was.
I could just go collect all the gold coins. They could all be mine.
But yeah, eventually, Leah, we should do that.
Yeah, we've talked about checking out some of the theme parks and whatnot, like at Universal, whether it's Harry Potter World or the big Orlando MegaCon or whatever it is they have down there.
Yeah, we've
talked
ta-
about checking that stuff.
Yeah,
out.
MegaCon, they moved it from March to February, but could be a fun weekend trip checking that out and checking out MegaCon.
Princess.
Thanks, Leah.
Thank you so much for that. Princess Reign of Dreams. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey guys, came to your channel over a year ago from Best Man Holiday and never left. Well, that was a good one, wasn't it?
What a good film.
Love it, you guys' reaction. It is now super hard leaving my house when on Sundays with Glory and I wave. Oh my God.
Interview with the Vampire.
With the Vampire. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Glory has been amazing to watch, and yeah, Interview with the Vampire has been a pleasant surprise as well. I thought nothing could top Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise together.
But surprises happen.
Yeah, and a lot of people were putting it over when that reaction came out, saying you got to watch the show now.
Yep.
Seems like it's going great. But
We listened.
the Best Man series will be happening because we need to finish out that story. So I can't wait to when we get to the TV show.
Oh, the holiday was such a, they took such a hard left turn and a heartbreaker with that one. I'm like, okay, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to laugh for 2
have
hours.
fun.
And this is going to be great.
They toyed with our emotions.
Yeah.
End of it,
definitely.
we're tear going down
Yeah,
the cheek.
absolutely.
Toyed with our emotions.
Nomad with so thank you so much for that. Nomad with a super chat. Hey guys, congrats on 400k subs. Are you interested in the announced Amazon Warhammer 40k series with Henry Cavill? And any of you generally interested in the Warhammer universe? I don't know what it is, but we could always,
I have
look into
zero
it.
idea what Warhammer's about.
I do
That-
not know
is
anything
that,
about the Warhammer universe.
Yeah, I mean,
I
my
remember, was that a
knowledge
video
of Warhammer, you could probably fit on the tip of a pin, but I am interested to see how it plays out just because, again, another game with an adaptation with Henry involved. Got a feeling it's going to be pretty good. So, yeah, the Warhammer, let me know if I'm getting confused here, but the Warhammer universe, that's kind of similar to like, I think it was like BattleTech or that sort of thing back in the day. I thought it was similar, but either way, I think it'll be awesome. You don't have to drop another super on that, but yeah, always going to be fun with Henry involved.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for your super.
Brett Hall with the super chat. No relation to the Hitman. Brett Hall, congrats on reaching 400K. Really enjoy watching your reactions. Well, it's Brett spelt the same way, so I was trying to shoehorn.
Oh,
that
I
one
thought
in
maybe
there.
the hockey player.
Yeah. Congrats on reaching 400K. Really enjoy watching your reactions, guys. I used to live up in Wauwatosa, and you guys give me my dose of the Midwest. Well, glad we can be
Nice.
here for that.
I
and,
saw a comment the other day that folks were wondering if we were Canadian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
That was
Hey, we're not Canadian.
There are neighbors to the north.
That's right.
Well, first you got the UP of Michigan, and then it's Canada.
Well, no, you got Canada here, which is Wisconsin. Then you got UP. which is
Over
too,
there.
so technically,
Yeah, could be northern Minnesota too. You never know.
what's confusing?
We don't.
We have a UP above us, then Lake Superior, and then Canada. So the answer is technically correct that
But if
And
you
they
were
are
to go,
neighbors.
if you were to go straight from say
Okay,
Ashland,
good call. Good call. I was thinking. Yep, you're right.
Okay.
because we're right there.
I was gonna
the
say, I was
lake.
like, when the hell did
There's
Wisconsin
no
touch
part of
Canada?
Wisconsin that touches Canada.
Okay, so we're not touching, but they're still neighbors to the
They are
north.
neighbors to the north.
Yeah, you.
Answer just didn't want to disrespect the UP.
Yeah, UP. They get a vote.
I mean, it should basically be Wisconsin, but
it should be. It's Wisconsin. It's Wisconsin.
Have you seen the memes that are like, says a lot about the state of Wisconsin that they haven't taken over this portion of Upper Michigan. We haven't annexed Upper Michigan.
Yeah.
No, just wait.
That'll
Just
be
you
next.
wait.
It's the arm.
yeah, it should be there. I mean,
It's our hat.
And then there's the Mitt of Michigan.
Yeah, just got to swim across Lake Superior and you're in Canada.
yeah.
Well, it's a nice swim, nice and brisk.
Oh, that North Shore of Minnesota is something else.
Is it?
Oh, it's beautiful. Yep.
That does look like a pretty fun lake.
It's a lot of
But
fun.
thank you for the super, and
Yeah.
we're glad
Glad
we
you
could
can do your
remind
dose.
you of home a little bit. And Michaela Juarez is back. She also wanted to say congrats. Have been a fan since you guys reacted to Avatar: The Last Airbender. I hope it was the M. Night Shyamalan version. The good
No,
one.
it wasn't. It was the amazing animated series that I kept on saying we need to watch, and we did, and they absolutely loved it. So I'm so happy in the end.
I have enjoyed watching old and new shows and movies with y'all. You guys are sincere and love your breakdowns. Love from Virginia.
Oh, well, thank you, Virginia.
At least I hope it's Virginia. Isn't that VA? VA is Virginia? Yeah. Okay.
No, it's West Virginia.
Well, I didn't know, you know,
Yeah.
Don't you?
We all make
wanted to be
Don't
sure.
you know?
Wanted
We
to
all
be
make
sure.
mistakes.
Wanted to be sure. but
there.
Thank you for that,
I'm glad you
Michaela.
loved us since then.
Yep.
Which was your favorite episode of Avatar: Last Airbender, or could
there's
you narrow
only
it down?
64 of them.
Or who was your favorite character?
Well, whichever one I hear about cabbages. Brady BK with the super chat. Hope solo leveling is on your list, guys.
Thank you, Brady. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It is on
there's
there.
been a lot of
What is
requests for
solo
that.
leveling?
Well, I don't
Anime.
want to spoil it, but yeah, that's pretty much requested and everything.
You didn't know anything about it either, other than it was.
No,
an
it's
anime.
been highly
Well,
requested.
yeah, but you didn't know anything other than it was animated.
Well, I
You're
didn't-
like, you don't want to spoil.
You
them,
remember
and
how much fun it was going into Sinners and he didn't know there was a supernatural element of it? He's like, what the hell? Is there vampires in this?
Hey, Mackenzie's getting married on the North Shore in 2 months.
Hey!
We acknowledge your marriage.
Acknowledge me.
Our invites must have got lost in the
and
mail.
also-
That's okay.
And it's not too soon to run.
Jesus, answers.
Get that prenup.
Wait, not too
Just
soon.
get a
Not
prenup.
too late.
Either way.
Never too soon. It's never too soon.
It's not too soon or
too late.
to run.
Either or.
It's funnier when you look at that. It's not too soon to run.
All right.
Hopefully it all works out. You guys have a
it'll be
long
great.
life of love.
Oh my God. Deruv, if that's a V at the end there.
DH.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Please react to Ramayan movie introduction video, India's first $100 million movie with the Hollywood's best. Oh, best visual effects company and Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer, obviously.
Yep. That one is on the
but
list.
It's been on the list for a while.
Yep, on the list. On the list.
All right, Natasha Peterson. Natasha. Congrats on hitting 400K. Been around since the RRR reaction. I love if you did a rewatch of the Princess Bride, maybe as a Patreon watch along. And what can you say other than
As you wish.
show Wesley?
Well, I mean, that's okay. So
Anybody
somebody
want
had mentioned about what a parody of us would be saying. I saw it a week ago. I don't remember. Princess Bride's a perfect example where I remember very iconic scenes from that movie, and my brain kind of patches everything together. But I guarantee I would be surprised by a few things if we were to watch that again, because I haven't watched it in probably 30 years.
I was just say you can't say that to him about like Days of Thunder or
Not me. I've seen Princess Bride a million times.
Yeah, I haven't
every
watched it
scene,
forever.
every line for me is pretty much ingrained in my memory.
Inconceivable.
There might be a day where we definitely do a rewatch of some stuff too. So I know some folks are doing that right now with some Marvel stuff where they've gone back, like watched Iron
See how it
Man, a
makes
couple
sense.
others stuff. So maybe we do that with some very, very big classics like Princess Bride.
Still trying to get these guys to watch One Crazy Summer and Better Off Dead for the channel.
I've seen them both already.
Just need some more recommendations. That's all.
Dude,
Just
we're not gonna get recommendations for Better Off
No,
Dead.
that's-
We'll fit it
and
in.
One
We'll fit
Crazy
it in.
Summer.
Yeah.
All right. Scroll up. Oh, that was.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that was not
All right
bad.
then.
Yep.
Jajan King, thank you for the super chat. Congratulations on 400K subs. When are you guys doing Thunderbolts and Ballerina from the world of John Wick?
Soon. It's what I can. It's the best I can say because I can't give a day or time because it's just
Tuesday
too
the
hard to do.
13th.
Sometime soon though.
Don't worry, we'll get it. Jake from State Farm. If Diamond Dave was severed, I'd imagine he'd make his any have to endure anything Ian and Andrew write.
Fear of the Walking Dead. He's referring
Thank you
to
for the super chat.
He's referring to Ian and Andrew, the writers of Fear the Walking Dead. You know, if I was severed and my innie said, "Hey, you know,
I need to quit.
Fear the
because-
Walking Dead." Those writers, Ian and Andrew, really knocked it out of the park. I'd have to just probably, I don't know, just remove the chip.
remove the any.
He's under digging behind his head.
If any Dave said that was anything close to being good, whew,
Like that was your job. You had to be a yes man for Ian and Andrew for everything they do. You just had to put it over. I really
it was
think we could do
good.
a hot air balloon, guys. I really think we could.
You know, if we have our crew
I just laugh because you always
just magically in 2 episodes put together an airplane because they found some kind of manual that's not for that
They
airplane.
found a climber manual, like they're rebuilding.
Yeah, they found a
go-kart.
manual, but it's not for the airplane, but it's close enough to make them build an airplane. That should be pretty good writing, I
That should
think,
work.
in that one instance. And then it works, guys. Get this. It works.
It works.
2 episodes. Done.
What about fuel? We'll find something.
We'll
that'll
figure
work.
it out.
Yeah.
We got a Mr. Fusion.
Sounds totally believable.
Yep.
Yep.
Zenda with the super chat.
Thanks,
Looks like
Jake.
your message was retracted, Zenda. But thank you for the super.
Sorry, Zenda.
It looks
We'll
like,
give you
looks like she came in again and had it there. So.
Yep. So I'll jump down to hers and we'll come
Well-
back to that one.
Well, we'll come to it.
Yep.
We'll just go in order
Okay.
here.
All right. Yagam Miss Summit Raj. Hopefully I got that close at least. Appleton Oak certified. I know he is a softie and emotions get to him the most. Hi, Nana. 2023 is a perfect movie to watch with him.
Oak shows off his emotions. You don't say.
So we
say it
didn't.
like the beginning
I
of the
didn't post it yet on. It'll come today where you guys get to see what's coming to the member page, Patreon and YouTube members. Hi Nana is on there for the month of July, so that's coming to Patreon and YouTube members this month. As far as YouTube for the cut, no idea. Eventually it will arrive.
Yeah, look, I think that's the one thing that we've all really strived on this channel is to be transparent with our emotions. I mean, we're never going to like overly force anything in the interest of trying to make the reaction seem more intense or whatever. But when they're there, there's no need to hide that sort of stuff, and that's all part of being reactors, is having people feel like when they're watching you, they're getting a genuine emotional reaction. And again, you just got to realize this is what you're doing. The best thing you can do is be transparent. So we try that as best we can.
Yep.
So.
Well, usually Quinn has like a little pliers that he's like hitting Oak with. That makes him. That's what's making him cry.
He's got an
Whatever
ice
it
pick under
takes.
right in the side.
Those don't look like tears from emotion. It looks like
Stomping
tears
on
of
my toe.
No, but that's the best part about this. We're allowed to show our emotions here, and because a lot of stuff we do watch do hit us and do move us.
Well, and so
There's
many-
no shame in hiding that. If it hits you,
Zero
it hits
shame.
you.
Greg from the Real Rejects gets picked on quite a bit. It's like it hit him. Like leave him alone. like
I mean, that's why you tuned in, right?
yeah,
To see the
well,
reaction.
I'm just gonna be a robot and just. But instead, some people go after Greg, and it's like leave Greg alone. It hit him. He felt it, or he has some kind of a personal experience.
Leave Greg alone.
Leave Greg alone.
Hey, Greg, there we go. We're gonna make a bad medicine T-shirt. Make money off you,
Says leave Greg
leave
alone.
Greg alone.
Because I cried at the end of Ghostbusters Afterlife because it hit me because of something with my mom. So like, how many people do you think else were crying at the end of it?
Right.
They were like, "Oh, that's cool seeing Harold Ramis."
Probably not
like
a
that.
lot, but it
look at
hits.
that. They did CGI of Harold Ramis correctly.
Yep.
See, there's something that they can do then in Fast and Furious 10 or 11.
It was great.
Which
bring
one
up,
are they on?
You bring up a really good point, answer, because a lot of movies, look, there's movies where, look, if some,
main characters pass.
Skip Oak Bayless over there.
Sending it right over.
I'm changing his mind one movie at a time.
No, I wasn't. No, I was not agreeing with you on the CGI thing. I was just agreeing that
Rewind the tape back. That's what it
movies hit
sounds like.
everybody. Movies just hit everybody different. There's certain things that one person might watch it and be like, yeah, like we've watched animated movies where people are like, oh, it's gonna wreck you guys, and it was like, okay, it had a sad story or it was emotional, but it didn't really didn't get you. And then there's other stuff where you're like, holy shit, like for me, How to Train Your Dragon. I think we watched it like the second one. We watched it like a year after my dad passed, and there's this whole scene about him talking about his dad's funeral. And I imagine a lot of people thought that was a sad scene, but given the timing of it, for me, it was like, oh fuck, like holy shit, here I go. It's just everything hits everybody different.
Yeah, I mean, and that's again, a credit to all of you folks out there because the stuff you recommend, like 99 times out of 100, it's really good, and we're gonna have a genuine reaction or something emotional to it, just outside of how that movie might impact us personally if we have a connection.
Like
to it,
Impossible, how
way.
we were we were wrecked after
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
That was a.
Yep.
It was tough to talk about because the thing is, like, one, it's a movie, but then when you find out it's all legit and this is an actual true story, then it just hits you even more differently than other movies. So,
Zenda, see, you're back with your super chat.
No, there
not
was-
no,
there
not no
were.
more, not no more.
They get to see it because it's on the screen,
it's
so they see it just
scrolling.
pops away.
It just pops away
Well,
as per
I
usual.
can read it.
Wow.
Love y'all.
Okay,
Are
there you
guys
go.
watching?
Love y'all. Are you guys watching the Netflix movie K-pop Demon Hunters? Saw someone comment on you playing Claire Obscure, and I agree it would be amazing.
Is that where the story of Claire Redfield from Resident Evil picks up?
oh man,
Maybe.
that'd be great.
Probably not.
Maybe. We'll have to look into
Yeah,
it.
but
for
I've
sure.
got,
Look into it,
of course, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yep.
We were talking
It's on
about
the
that
list.
earlier.
It's just not.
the same as Demon Slayer.
I'd have, I'll kind of walk back maybe saying this month, but it's going to be hard for us to do it in the month of July. I'll say that.
All right.
Bananis 12. Thank you for joining the chat and for your super chat. I didn't use my free members chat because you deserve the digital cash. But thank you, Bananis. Thanks for giving me endless content to laugh about and tease you guys with. Cheers on the milestone, and let's effing go to 500K. Thank you, Bananis.
Thank you,
We
Bananis.
appreciate your
We'll
support.
get there.
We really do. So we'll give you a woo.
All right.
Oh, and Answer just brought up.
Oh,
what
yeah, I looked up the Claire
Yeah, that Expedition 33. I've heard of that. I think it was made by
That's why she said play.
Yeah, and I think just one guy made the game. I think it's supposed to be like just really, really intense and a fun time. So yeah.
And we will get there to 500K.
Sakarish Sakan. Hopefully I got that right. Here are some Indian shows and movies you should watch. Mirzapur and The Family Man. That Family Man, that's been recommended
we
in
hear
the
that a
comments a
lot,
little bit.
so.
And Chava and URI. So I will add
Write those
to the
down.
list.
Thank you for your super.
Thank you for the super.
down.
Deem, can you watch the Scary Movie series? It's hilarious. I've been told I should watch Signs beforehand. I have not seen Signs.
Yep, watch
Yeah, because you got to get the references. that they
Yeah,
make,
so if there's any
obviously.
other movies that we should watch before that so we understand what's going on.
Signs, huh?
I haven't seen Signs. I thought
Signs
there was a
would be-
chance, but then I went and watched the trailer for it. I'm like, never seen it.
Walking
So-
in and Mel Gibson. Because basically that's what Scary Movie 3 is spoofing. So yes, you would need to see Signs to get all the references.
Jake is back again. Thank you
Jake.
for your super. Director Joseph Kaczynski has recently talked about wanting to do a crossover of Days of Thunder and F1, which I would lose my mind over if it happens. That sounds like something our friends over there who made Superfast could dive into and could make happen, to do like a spoof of those movies. Maybe the Wayans brothers can look into that. That could be
Dude,
something.
if that. So it's the same team that did F1. Well,
Yeah.
Jerry mainly.
Yeah,
but I would assume it would be the same team. Doing Days of Thunder 2 as well as they did F1. So that would actually be kind of cool if we had the same universe-ish.
they're there.
If that were the case. I'd be down for it, but That's just me.
All right.
Quinn,
Why don't you take this one?
Quinn,
Nancy?
Quinn take the
Oh,
next
okay.
one.
Proddy BK, Daddy likes it raw. Praise Kier. Miss Huang playing the theremin in the background.
So, folks, again, real quick, you will see it happening on the Severance cut when it comes. But on one of the last episodes of season 2, you'll see it. I'll just leave it
Context
there.
is important.
Yeah, well, I'll leave it there. It'll
Context
most
is
likely be in the cut.
Yep. And
But
then,
it's a Severance reference.
You'll love it.
and then we have a member for 12 months, Lisby Kotzi. Hopefully I got that right. Does that sound right to you? You're pretty good at names. And because they're a member, I would want to get it right.
Acknowledge me.
Acknowledging for a member of 12 months. Thank you so much for your support.
Can't they say 1 year?
Kotzi, that looks right, I think. I think I got that right. Hopefully I did. Thank you for being a member. Congrats on your 400K subs. Any chance of seeing Bridgerton soon on the channel? Watching Order Season 1, Season 2, Queen Charlotte, and Season 3.
Oh, that must be
Interesting.
Watch it then.
It is on the list, but we don't know there's an order to it. So maybe when the time comes, we'll have to revisit if there's an order to watch.
2.
Anthony Velasquez,
Thank you for your
for the super chat. Can't wait for Answer reaction to Stranger Things. By far my favorite Netflix show.
Yeah, we'll be getting to it.
Like I said, hopefully it lives up to the hype.
We'll be getting to it.
I've heard some things. I've heard some.
They pretty much put Netflix on the map in terms of creating their own shows, I think, or at least there was a major influence. So you'll enjoy it, Answer.
That wasn't just pulling other shows and putting it on their platform. They finally did something.
No, well, that's why I said
one that
in
really
terms
I
of
know,
them
that's
making
rocket
movies.
launch.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Marie Ramgirl with the super chat. Thank you. To answer Quinn's question, I watch F1 on Sky Sports, and Piastri did look a bit salty on the podium about the penalty, and I agree about the commentators on it. Yeah, Oscar was not happy on the podium. That was great. Maybe that starts a little bit more internal battle between McLaren like the old days. We'll see. But yeah, the commentators definitely need to do better on that. Hopefully they got chewed out. Thank you for that, Marie.
Yuki,
Yes.
your message was retracted. So we'll give you a
Woo on that. Maybe we'll see you back in there if there was something you were going to ask. Andrew Hodge with a super chat. Thank you so much for that. Love the reactions. Thank you guys for all the great content. Is Alien Romulus on the list? The Alien movies are hit and miss, but latest is awesome.
So good news. I haven't seen anything aliens, so the whole gambit of aliens will be happening.
We cannot wait for that.
Yeah, that's because they've come out with, again, being that we do this channel, I've had to stay away from all the latest Alien stuff that's come out. So I'm very excited to jump into that. I've seen the first 3 and then the one with Michael Fassbender I saw, but it starts to kind of blur together once
Prometheus?
Prometheus I saw, but some of it kind of starts to blur once they start working in the Predator with some of the stuff. So again, Order is something we might have
Order
to
is
take a look
important,
at.
yeah.
But yeah, those are going to be fun. I can't wait.
All right. Mr. Wizard Nuts, thank you for being a member for 13 months.
Acknowledge me.
Congrats on 400K. You guys should put a silent voice on your radar to watch. It is my favorite movie.
And guess what? It is on the radar. Someday it'll
Guess
come.
what? I got chicken scratched on that notepad.
It
right
is on the list. I know Studio Ginobili? Ginobili?
Ginobili?
Ghibli?
Ghibli? I butchered it, so
Bibbly?
apologies. But I know some folks were joking in the comments already saying, oh, that's blacklisted. That studio is blacklisted from you guys. It's not. We'll be getting into more. It's just we're going to be doing English dub instead of the actual
Yep.
original language.
Super Suit with the super chat. Thank you for that very much.
That's a nice super.
Thank you for this.
Acknowledge me.
so generous.
Thank you so much,
you.
Super Suit.
Congratulations on 400K, fellas. Have been watching you guys for a long time. Glad to see how your channel has grown. I've rewatched the Telltale Walking Dead series multiple times and will never get over He's Dunzo or Quinn sacrificing Sarah. LMAO. Oh, the Walking Dead series had a lot of great moments.
Dave, you have to move the guy. You think I don't know that? When you
Oh.
couldn't get the cursor, guy, look at the controls.
I know, I wish I had it.
It's a
I
swipe,
wish I had
not
it.
an arrow. Oh, the Telltale series was something else.
And that game was actually pretty fun, especially
Well, you need a live action.
decisions that you have to make in there, and just getting immersed into a different story of the Walking Dead universe was so much fun.
Oh, Lee and Clementine. So much fun with that.
That's what we need.
You know, I know we've some folks say there's enough Walking Dead in the world right now. But if they were to bring something back that doesn't have Ian and Andrew writing in it, Clementine story should be told at
Yeah,
some
they
point.
wrote
Lee
the
and
finale
Clementine, if
for
you
Dead
got-
City.
And
you got the right
HBO,
cast?
give it a
Perfect.
goddamn look this time. We should get those guys to push to HBO and just be like, hey, look at this. Give it a shot because you passed on The Walking Dead the
Yeah.
first time.
You guys love your video game adaptations. lately, So
Malachi Fisher with a super chat. Thank you so much for that. Oh, nice little thing there. Malachi?
I don't know if it's Malachi or Malachi.
Malachi Black?
Huh? Well, congratulations on 400K. Since you guys are watching Thunderbolts, do you guys know the characters from past movies and shows?
Like we were saying,
Ish.
Macy Quinn does not really know anything about anything that happened in Black Widow except for two things that Answer and I told him about years ago. So Macy Quinn will be doing Black Widow. I know folks just don't care for the film, but it's good for you to know.
was it that bad, folks?
Well,
think it was that
you know how it goes. If it's not to a certain
Standard.
standard,
yeah.
you know, some
Okay.
folks just won't like it. But will you enjoy it like Captain America? I don't know. But anyways, it's just to help get you
Caught
to the point
up.
of
Yep.
the characters that you're going to be seeing in
Okay.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah, that might be important. So if somebody appears on screen and everybody
Yeah,
goes
we're
nuts,
just
and I
like-
just sit there like, huh.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
her.
It's her.
It is Malachi, so you were right.
All right, there you go. Sarah Gomez with the super chat. Thank you for that. You guys have Disney Descendants movie series on your list. It is very similar to Frozen, but live action. My favorite Disney movie series. There are 4 of the movies, and 5 comes out next year. They are very good.
All right. Not heard of
I have heard of
Disney
the Descendants.
Oh, yeah, I think that's on the list. I think that's actually getting voted up pretty good on the
Yeah, it's like a lot of the
page.
classic. I believe it's a lot of the classic Disney villains, but they're younger. I think that's what it is. I might be right or wrong on that. Either way, Yuki is
you're
back. Are you guys going to react to The Good Place?
Maybe. It's doing actually pretty well on the recommendations page on our website. So
Is that-
maybe
Is that just a regular movie
It's
or
a TV
anime
show.
or a show?
with Ted
Okay.
Danson and Kristen Bell.
Yep.
I want to
Okay.
say. So
She-
two good
she-
actors right there.
Is she solving crimes on it?
No, she's not being Veronica Mars.
Oh, it's a shame.
Tracy Page, thank you for your super chat. Hi from Birmingham, England.
Birmingham.
Tommy,
I'm a Shelby.
Tokyo Day. You should do the Ice Age movies. Very funny for animations and Code of Silence series in England. So I can tell you Ice Age films are on the list, but I have
I've only
not
seen the first one.
I have not heard of Code of Silence.
I added it to the list. We'll investigate.
We'll investigate that one. So
just
thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it.
I just know the car. This car is consider it the cone of silence. True Detective.
Oh, I don't remember every line, but yes. now that
Guy
you mention
rattles
it.
off the Walking Dead lines left and right.
Yeah,
But he can't get that one.
I've only seen it twice.
Look
And that was when it first
look at
came
the
out.
disappointment in Answer's face, everyone.
All right, here you go.
Michaela
Answer.
Juarez, would you consider watching The Vampire Diaries? We are
Absolutely.
heavy
On the
in
list.
vampire content.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. It's on the list. Boop. I refresh for you, all?
Yep.
I hope so. Boom.
We got to
Now
get
we come back over
we'll get to our
here.
fan funding in just a second.
Had to do a
Oh, boy.
restart.
Right
No,
here.
okay, yep, now down.
Was it this one? Yep.
Yeah, there was.
There was Yuki. There was a good.
There we go.
place.
There we go.
There's
There we go.
There's
Anthony.
Anthony Velasquez. Thank you so much for the super chat. Just got to say I appreciate every month your movie/TV show lineup consists of things that appeal to various different people. There's always something that is for someone. Keep it up, guys. Well, we will, and we love it too, because if we came into the studio watching the same like genre or the same thing over and over, then like someone asked, well, do you consider a job? Then it would kind of be, it would seem
stale.
tedious. It would get boring. It'd be like, ugh, I got to react to this again. But when we pick from all these different genres, Indian movies, rom-coms, action, dramas, all the K-dramas,
Yep.
it helps keep the variety alive, and it helps keep you entertained even more, in my opinion. So I love that we do that. And plus, yeah, if you want to have someone to be able to have, okay, I don't like this movie, but that one they did the day before, I'm gonna watch that one. So I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I think it's very important too to keep variety for the most part. And it's hard because some days it's just like, all right, so where in this area do we go? Where in this area do we go? But hopefully it's always something that interests all of you too. So at the end of the day, it's fun to do. Definitely keep the variety, a little something for everyone as much as possible. to the best of our ability.
Yep.
So
This Coster, hope I didn't butcher your name too bad there. Thanks for the videos. It means a lot to people looking to connect through films they love. Maybe give Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind a shot. It's weird. I would love to see what Oak thinks.
I haven't seen it.
is that with
Jim
Cage?
Carrey.
Jim and Kate
Oh,
Winslet, I
Winslet,
think.
yep.
Yeah.
I have not seen that one.
Yeah, I guess I have not seen it, but I do. Yes, I've heard that
Yeah, like
it's weird. It's good, but it's weird, you know, in that sense.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
I
artsy.
Yes, there you
I
go.
think I saw a trailer for that at some point, but have not seen it all the way through.
But we will probably never watch number 23. That's for sure. Deem, thank you so much for the super chat. Love you guys from Saudi Arabia. That's awesome. Thank you for watching all the way over there. Congrats on 400K subs. Can you guys react to the Scary Movie series? It's hilarious. Love to see you laugh. And yeah, we will be getting to it. And I cannot wait. I've seen the first 4, and they are amazing.
Yeah, and I think especially since
All 3.
so much time has passed with the scary movies, where I think it'll be a fun like nostalgia trip for us to, oh yeah, I remember when that happened in Scream or whatever movie they might be referencing. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Have you seen I Know What You Did Last Summer? Have you guys seen I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I know they're
saw
coming
the-
out with a new
I
one.
think I saw the
Okay,
first.
so then
Is the one they're coming out with a re-release of the original, or is it like a new one?
It's
it's
a new
it's
one.
like a
It's a continuation.
Yeah, continuation because
That's what I know. I haven't seen them, but
You know what was the biggest bullshit of it all?
is this a spoiler?
No.
Have you seen them?
It's not. I saw the first one and the second one, but I don't remember anything from the second one. I saw the second one, and so the first one.
Are we
is
gonna
I know-
spoil?
No, it's
Yeah, I
spoilers.
feel
They
like
haven't
you're-
I'm not fucking spoiling anything. Just give me a little bit of
Sounds
credit.
like you are.
Sounds like
Way
it.
you're
That's
building
what
it
you're
up.
teeing up.
So the
That's what
first
you're
one,
teeing
nothing
up.
gets caught. The first one is called "I Know What You Did Last Summer," right? And the second one is called "I Still Know What You Did Last Summer." And I was on a date for the second one. I still know what you did last summer, and I had just mentioned to her like it was just a joke that fell totally flat. I'm like, well,
imagine
technically, it's not what you did last summer. It would be like, I still know what you did 2 summers ago. And she's like, oh, and she didn't really get it. And then like fucking, I swear to God, I think it was Conan or one of the late night guys brought it up. They're like, oh yeah, wouldn't it be? It's just fucking not getting to these guys either. They did the second movie a summer later
I'm aware,
that still
but-
said, I still know what you did last summer. But it was 2 summers ago. They fucked the movie title. It should have been, I still know what you did 2 summers ago. Or I
doesn't
still know what
flow.
you
Well,
did
remember,
the summer
that doesn't
before
flow.
last.
Well,
But all they just called it, I still know
Well,
what you did last summer.
Well, to be
it would have
fair-
been 2 summers ago, you assholes. Now you guys just
fair,
gave me
it's still
PTSD.
spring.
That's the exact same reaction I got from my date.
'Cause like
and
you
I had
said,
to be
the joke fell
validated by a
flat.
late night
Like,
TV
there
guy.
was no joke there.
That's because people don't fucking get how terrible of a movie title it is. I still know what you did last summer. It
All they had
wasn't
to
last
do-
summer.
all
It
they
was
had to
2
do-
summers
I get
ago.
what you're saying. It's just
All they had to
you
do
didn't
was drop
present
in the
it
word
fine.
that, and it could have been fine, right?
All they could have just said, I still know what you did. But
That summer.
or that summer, but it was I still know what you did that summer. It was I still know what you did last summer. Completely fucked.
well, to be
the
fair,
title.
it was a
on
big
spring break. So it's
Completely
still,
fucked.
it was
so
a
they
little
went that
bit
easy.
school year.
I
It would've
still
been-
know what you did that summer.
Yep.
I still know what you did summer of '98.
I'm still available, Hollywood.
All right,
Just
good
waiting for
story.
those
Here we
checks.
go.
Still has emotion, guys.
All right. Well, thank you for your
Hey, I was with
super
you.
Thank you for the
team.
super chat.
Jake
Jake.
is back. Were you guys aware or follow the movie trivia Schmodown when it existed? Isn't that with Christian Harloff? I believe it was. It was movie trivia with kayfabe skits, entrance, heel turns, and even had a draft for team factions. Check out Chris Jericho versus Kevin Smith match. I have not.
Yeah,
seen-
I've
I just
never
know
heard of
I
it.
just heard of it because of Christian and crew. I think they had something to do with it, but I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe Christian didn't have anything to do with it.
I don't know. USA guys are hot. Katie, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey dudes, congrats. Diamond Dave looking sexy today. Question
No, read
for
that
chat.
again. Read it again.
Read it
with
again.
confidence.
I'm good.
With confidence.
And look at him when you say it.
Diamond Dave.
Yeah, there you go.
Looking sexy today. All right, question for chat. Hug, kiss, marry, avoid. Pick one for each of the 4 dudes. Mine's hug, answer, kiss Mason, marry Diamond Dave, avoid Oak.
I see you. It's because he would go on and on about movie titles.
Hug, kiss, marry, avoid.
This super chat came in before my most recent rant, by the way.
Rant.
Is that actually for us?
No, that's for the chat.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
that's for us.
That's what she's
Question
saying.
for chat.
Question for chat. Okay, it's for the chat.
For the
All right, there you
chat.
go, chat.
All right.
You got to hug, kiss, marry, avoid. We'll wait 15 seconds to see what you guys got going on in the chat.
And I'll
here.
take it personally if you avoid me.
By the way, Oak, I was with you
Avoid the
on
wrath
that
of
title.
Oak come back when he's happy.
Everybody wants to
We got
avoid
hug
right?
them all. We got smiley faces. Avoid chat.
Yep.
And then we got Valerie. It was something. But you could
Well,
also
we could
answer
also
it.
answer it.
Well, nah.
I'll avoid all of them.
Cody versus Either way, tough question. Yeah, we get it. But that question is there for you, chat. Did we actually get one? Mary Oak, kiss DD, hug answer, avoid Mason Quinn.
I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of hugs.
That's just because I'm canceling my Apple subscription, probably.
And you can always go to Amazon Prime.
You could.
Oh, wow. The Golden Disposition would hug me, kiss Mason, but marry Oak and Dave.
Oh, wow. Looks like we're having one of those.
Daves.
They want
One of
Dave
those
squared.
one of those
You
setups.
only need to have Dave on the wedding thing once. So,
Once.
you know, you could just,
Save some
you
letters.
could just
Money.
interchange your
Save
Daves.
some letters.
Marry all poly relationships.
Look, we even got a funny now. See, someone not caught onto it. You mean organic?
Exactly.
Yeah, see?
An organic marriage.
We'll keep it YouTube safe just in
I'll
case
go kiss
Google
Andrew, marry
decides to
Dave,
take it down.
Avoid Quinn. Aw. Avoid me? Damn you, LB.
Avoid me.
Why
Look at you.
Why me?
It'll be great if the folks keep this question going in like random chats about future videos that we're dropping, and
Yep.
other people in the comments will be like, "What the hell are you guys talking about?"
Yep.
Alice just wanted. Wait, if we marry them, that's 4 lots of labor work. I wouldn't have to.
That was actually pretty good. All right. Thank you
point.
very much for your super.
All right.
Princess Reign of Dreams. Lastly, Diamond Dave, you have the best laugh and empathy comments. Well, thank you very much. I usually get a lot of hate. Yeah, I get hate. I'll take this one. I get a lot of hate. The Oak is just awesome with everything. Observation, sparkle, face, emotions. Mason, innocent and gullible. The answer, so kind and fun. You guys are awesome.
Family.
Well, thank you, Princess Reign.
This guy said
I'll take it. I will take it.
the guy
Entertainment
who-
subjective.
The guy who said with a straight face and didn't think anything of it, Daddy likes it raw.
No, he said it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The innocent and gullible part. When
Oh,
he,
the innocent
when
and
he-
gullible
looking at
part.
him.
When
Yeah,
he
you're looking
said
at me.
Daddy, well, that's because I was laughing about how
He was afraid to look me in the eye.
innocent and
show
gullible
my
is so
teeth.
accurate. Daddy likes it raw. Meanwhile, the 3 of us just go like this. What?
Could have been father.
Well, that's what he said. He's the one. He's the one that's
Faja.
creepy.
Alrighty. Dancing. Thank you very much again, Princess Reign. Dancing Wheels. When I'm sad. Thank you for your super chat here. When I'm sad, I rewatch your White Chicks reaction.
Oh, well, hey, that
that
brings a smile
reaction.
to anybody's face.
And hopefully you're not too sad, so you're not watching it too often. But glad to be there for you during those moments, though.
No
And
love
gosh,
for
what a film!
No love for Little Man. That's
White
fun
Chicks.
too. I mean, White
It was
Chicks
fun.
is top
White
tier. but
White Chicks is
Little
bad.
Little
Man,
man
is-
was so
White Chicks is like.
What do you mean I did it twice?
But bravo for those guys. Bravo for the Waynes for pulling off Little Man, though. Just saying.
so wrong.
Thank you, Dancing Wheels.
Thank
CJ Rollo. Did I say that right? CJ. Hey, isn't that?
Hey, is that Corey?
That Corey
He's still
Rollo?
here?
Congrats
Wait.
on 400K. Easy option on the whole ref scandal. Any ref accused of that has to go 3 rounds with Ed Hockley in the octagon. Here's to 500K. Thank you, CJ.
And then making it
Corey.
out of the first round with Ed Hockley.
Corey and I have been friends since preschool.
Preschool.
Oh, I'm
4
so
years,
sorry,
3 or
Corey.
4 years old. Hey,
Moons ago,
relax.
eh? You guys used to walk through the snow and get into school.
Uphill both ways.
Uphill
Both ways, Corey.
Super suit.
Oh, there he
Super
is.
chat.
There's Corey. Hey,
you
he's
so
still
much.
here.
Corey's still here.
Hey, Corey. Have you guys ever watched rugby? Thoughts on the sport?
Mason Quinn, this is directed to you.
Yeah, so I played rugby in college for 3 years, and it was a blast. Our little team did pretty well. We were a small Wisconsin college, and then got to play against some of the big dogs like the Ohio State University and Marshall, and we beat them a couple of times. So yeah, rugby is an awesome sport. It was fun. I went from football to rugby. So it was a blast being able to carry the ball for a change and actually, score points and everything. So it was great. Yeah, a lot of fun playing rugby.
He scored on and off the field.
And the songs, the rugby songs were some of the best parts of it. And the great thing about rugby is after you play the opposing team, you all get together, go to the bar and drink together and have a good time and sing songs. It's a lot of
age,
fun.
of course.
Of course, legal age.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Legal.
Yep. Anthony Velasquez is back. Oak. Oh, by the way, Super Suit. Thank you for that. Anthony Velasquez is back. Oak, I really appreciate your insight for Ted Lasso during your post-show discussions. You really get the writing of the show.
Look, that show, the writing is just top notch. I mean, we've said it multiple times. I came in thinking, Jason Sudeikis, like it's going to be just kind of slapstick comedy. I would have never imagined in a million years for that show to kind of have
depth.
The depth that it has. And I just yesterday on my phone, I was it came up on like my YouTube suggested the dart scene, the barbecue sauce scene, and it's like, it just fucking gets you every single time. Just, the writing was cool. Everybody fucking hates Rupert, so that was great watching him lose, except for this guy.
Well, I think he's just misunderstood.
Like most
I love Ted
The
Lasso.
Dark Lord, Rupert.
All right, so folks, we do have a hard out in 35 minutes here. So
I
if
actually
we
have to be.
speed up-
I actually have to be out a little bit sooner to go. Get
Okay,
my
so
little
yeah,
guy.
we're going to kind of
I gotta
speed
be
up,
out
so
here
we
pretty
apologize if some answers seem a little shorter.
Jerry G then with a super chat. Thank you so much for
You don't
that.
have to go that fast.
I just finished a new I just finished a new Hunger Games book. Cannot wait to watch the 2026 movie with you. I feel you're going to love it. The casting is top so far. Yeah, we cannot wait. It's
So a lot of folks have been actually saying
Can't.
a lot of folks have been saying the book has been good, and they're hoping that it translates to the film. So I'm hoping for the best and everything, because we've seen a lot too where book is great, movie sucks,
Yeah.
but it's very rare where you say the movie is on par with the book.
Yeah, and Hunger Games has been a pleasant surprise. That's again another show I wouldn't have watched.
the first three were bangers. Even
This last one was really good too. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Tola Blaze with a super chat. Thank you so much for that. In need of a dad. Oak, can you be my dad, please? I feel like you'd be such a great girl dad. Also, since you weren't part of the reactions, Diamond Dave, what are your thoughts on Twilight? Love from down south, and that looks like a yellow heart.
So I didn't have very much editing on those, but the little bit that I have seen in it was pretty funny and interesting. So my answer sucks for you, but that's the best I can give since I wasn't fully editing or fully watching those. So entertaining for the most part from what I've seen.
My wife still laughs at the part where he was sparkling. I was like, oh, there's a stripper, and you're like, well, that was a pretty aggressive stripper.
We're really getting after it.
That's one of our favorite lines.
Sure, I can be an honorary dad. My dad set the bar very, very high, so I feel very, very privileged, and I'm trying to keep up to the standard that he set. But absolutely, so.
Anna123 with the super chat. Your opinion on the new Harry Potter? I'm excited for it. And I'm excited that they're going to get the amount of screen time with the material that's there to really dive into it and explore all the different things that we as just the moviegoers maybe didn't get to see. So I'm excited.
Yeah, same here. I'm excited because I don't know, as I mentioned earlier, don't know anything about the books. So really looking forward to seeing what the shows give us. And I'm hoping it's good stuff, essentially.
Yeah, Twilight is a comedy series to us. That's what somebody else.
All right, the Conus.
Wait, you're not the
Oh,
biggest Harry
jeez.
Potter
No,
here?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I know we were going through these a little quicker.
He said we had to
the new,
quick.
the new Harry Potter, right? I'm very excited for it. Love that they're breaking down the books a little bit further, season by season. Looking forward to see what the new cast brings, and very, very excited for it, though.
All right, go ahead.
So the CONUS, a little serious now.
Patreon
You
member.
are all
you for your
great
support.
counters to toxic masculinity. I've shared your channel with many of my young male students, and watching you makes them better young man adolescents recently, but really everything. Thank you very much
That
for
means a
those
lot.
compliments. Yeah, there's our group is a little bit unique as far as in the reactor space. We're a little bit different from some of the groups out there, and having been indie wrestlers who are very much considered to be kind of the macho kind of men, and as a bodybuilder as well, it's like I think there's a lot of preconceived notions people have when they see this channel, and we try to just kind of be the best that we can and be genuine. But yeah, again, it's just a lot of the way we were raised and the upbringing and kind of the energy that we want to put out there. So, and I did see that you had a question in the chat that was separate from your super chat. The family thing is a reference to the Fast and the Furious. Vin Diesel always talks about family and how important it is over and over and over and over and over in all the Fast and Furious films. So anytime
He doesn't have friends.
when we hear, he literally had a line, "I don't have friends, I have family." So anytime we see family in a film and we see us being like family, it's a Fast and Furious.
Ryan did marry his sister, so he is family.
It is
His
family.
family. Again, thank you for your support.
Thank you so
I
much.
do,
And,
got to jet, guys. I got to go pick up my little guy.
Yep.
From Grandma's house, and we got to get him to karate yet tonight.
All right.
Those of you who've been following.
Now
us,
you
they've
gues
seen
can
some-
chat and tell us how you really feel. about
Now, if
Avatar.
there's any, if there's any questions
if there's any
for
chats
Oak,
for Oak, we're sorry that he won't answer them now. We'll try to figure out something to where
we'll answer them.
where
We'll
he can
answer
get
them
an
for
answer.
him.
These guys,
I know
were
how
getting
he
Get an
thinks.
answer to you. So
Okay, guy.
Apologies.
Thank you.
Relax.
for all the super chats. All the congratulations on 400K. Love you guys.
I know what kind of man you are. I know how to answer.
I know what kind of.
Mr. Wizard Nuts back in the chat. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, you get out of here. You don't get to enjoy this anymore.
fly.
Congrats on 400K. You guys should put a silent voice on your radar to watch later. It's my favorite movie. Also, any plans
that.
for a second anime slot?
So Silent Voice, as we mentioned earlier, is on the list, and plans for a second anime slot. Nope, only one at this time. One anime slot. That's all we're doing. That's not to say no for the future, but right now, only one.
All right, MKNNY, thank you for a super chat. Highly recommend watching My Sister and When Life Gives You Tangerines. Both are K-dramas and are on Netflix.
The Tangerines one, I've been seeing a lot
Yeah,
more.
there was a lot of
more
comments.
coming in.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I've noticed
So
that too.
we'll investigate for sure.
Yeah,
man,
I
obviously-
haven't seen My Mister or seen like any recommendations for it, so I think you might.
Yeah, I mean, Tangerines is a pretty unique title, so that sticks
Yeah.
out when you see it in the comments.
And you guys
Thank
are
you
always
for your
good about
super.
voting on the right ones and picking the right ones for us to watch. So I'm here for it.
Shrimp Alfredo. Love you. Thank you for the super. Love your videos. Might be weird, but I listen to your reactions all day when I'm at work. You guys really help me get through the day, even during my worst days. Hey, again, that's what we're here for. That's one of the things that we're here for. That kind of happened unintentionally. I'll always say that you folks all made this all happen. And yeah, I mean, sometimes there's nothing better than just throwing on the headphones at work and just powering through.
And it's not weird, you know. We make this content. We hope you guys appreciate it and enjoy it. So to hear you say that's greatly appreciated. We absolutely love hearing that, and we see that we're on our way to hopefully getting more of you people to keep watching and keep enjoying it. And we're going to keep doing what we do.
Well, and especially for getting you through the day, I'm glad we're able to be something for you to kind of turn your mind off and to just kind of go away for a moment. So happy that we could be that for you. So thank you for your super.
Well, and it's certainly better than having somebody coming up to your desk and, hey, how was the weekend? Or are you hardly working or working hard? All that stuff's fun just to zone out a little bit. I'm busy.
Mikola Juarez, thank you so much for the super chat. Definitely meant the Avatar: The Last Airbender series.
Come on.
Favorite character would be Zuko. I think he
we-
grew.
Oh, never mind. We'll stay here.
I think he grew the most, and I think the episode he fights Azula was the best, but I also love the volcano prison episodes. Also, my kids love watching along too. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. But I think I love Uncle the most, just because he is the best, and he's the voice of reason. He's everything you need to hear when you need to hear it. So
No,
I think
just slide over.
Oh,
We'll have Answer really throw everyone off,
there
and
you
he'll
go.
take center.
I'll be in the center stage.
gonna confuse everyone with
We're
their
gonna
name.
confuse everybody.
Confused.
Yeah.
So is
I
that,
liked
who's your
the.
favorite?
I liked the. Well, I liked the. When they did like
cabbages.
when they did the Broadway theater version of Avatar: The Last Airbender, or was that Legend of Korra that did that? I'm
No, it
confused.
was Avatar because he was there. He watched it.
Yeah, that's right. When they did the whole the retelling of the story, that was a fun episode that sticks out of my mind because the whole series was a
Because
lot of fun.
one of them was giving him notes and giving him jokes to say.
All right, thank you very much for your super. The Owl. Do you plan on watching any of the classic animes from the 90s? If you guys start recommending them, because we actually don't know what's considered a classic 90s anime, believe it or not.
That'd be
So
Aeon
you guys will have to
Flux,
start
maybe?
kind of bringing them in a little bit.
We're not doing Pokemon. That's a lot to watch. Or Dragon Ball Z. That's a lot to watch.
Who knows? Well,
Never say
we'll
never.
Never say never.
That's true. Jake.
Thanks,
the
Owl.
Jake. Thank you so much for the super chat. There was once talks of a Fast and Furious, Transformers, and Jurassic Park crossover, so let's stop pretending the fast movie logic is taken
Exactly,
seriously.
Jake. That's my point.
Damn it. And of course, Oak just left.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would have been a perfect
Wasn't
super
here.
chat for him,
That
Jake.
would have been.
Oh, man.
Damn it.
Well,
All right.
Yeah, you see
We'll
that,
give him a
Oak? I
hard
hope
time.
this is playing in your truck, Oak. I doubt he's listening to us. He never watches
he-
anything anyway.
He only watches
But if
stuff
you
that
are in your
pats
truck
himself
right
on
now,
the back.
Oak, take that
Yeah.
from Jake.
Legacy with the super chat. I love you guys. Favorite channel on YouTube. Please watch Your Name. It's the
on the
best
list.
animated movie of all time. Well, that's setting the bar
that's a
quite
hard bar.
high.
That is on the list, Legacy.
I think you'll like it more now that you've watched more anime. You know, that's a good point because I think we're able to appreciate that medium a lot more since we've jumped into the various animes that are out there. And,
It'll happen.
And Super Suit is back. I know you guys are stepping away from games, but you need to.
Hold
Wow.
on, let's stop right there. Not you guys, just Oak and Mason Quinn is taking a break. They'll once in a while chime in on the channel, but the gaming channel right now is all Answer, and eventually Answer and I will get some Last of Us going in. So essentially, Answer's the mainstay. The three of us will be kind of checking in periodically.
Never let you down.
But you need to play Alien Isolation, especially if you love Alien and Aliens. Also, screw Alien 3 for what they did to Hicks and Newts.
Don't even. We can't acknowledge that because is that a spoiler?
You won't know who they are or what happens. So
By the
it's all
time we
good.
get to it, you won't know. But yeah, I get what you're saying with Alien 3. I mean, it's tough though. Like, Alien was so good. Like, how do you top that? Well, they did with Aliens. So then how do you top that? It's really tough, and unfortunately, they weren't able to do it with 3. Sorry.
But it still spawned numerous
It's still,
follow-up
in the realm
movies,
of
so-
Aliens, it's like Godfather 3, you know? So, Lion Arc, thank you so much for the super chat. I hope 28 years later is on the list.
Yep. So 28 days is on the list. I need to see that. I have seen 28 weeks. So the 28 days and 28 weeks for sure is happening because Answer hasn't seen either film,
Oak
and neither has
hasn't-
Oak.
Oh yeah, Oak hasn't seen either.
Yeah.
I've seen both.
I remember I think I wanted to see the first one when it came out.
Yeah, I saw the first
but I never saw it.
frame of how. This is gonna sound bad, but how horrible like the footage looked, and I bailed. So like I saw the first minute, and I saw that, and I'm like, nope, not for me. So, but I have seen 28 weeks later, which is, from what I remember, it's been like I think 12 years since I seen
I
it.
think you'll be surprised with who's in it if you don't remember.
No, I know Killian's in it.
Yeah.
So that's why now I'm like excited because after our peaky run.
Yeah, but the supporting cast I think will maybe surprise
supporting?
you with who they are now. But nonetheless, Diamond Dog.
The Diamond Dogs.
The dogs are barking.
Where did the name Bad Medicine come from? Would love to see you guys react to solo leveling.
On the list.
Also love your content, as Diamond Dave said, on the list. So the real quick 10,000 foot view of how the name Bad Medicine came from, that was our indie pro wrestling tag team name was Bad Medicine that we
Then
used.
became a stable with myself and Ian 12.
Ian,
Gage.
Yeah,
12
Brick
gauges.
McCarthy.
Now it's Brick
was also-
McCarthy.
was also in there. Yep. So that's where it came from. We just carried it over.
Yep.
Aiden.
And again, folks, we're kind of speeding
Yeah,
up here because we got a
apologies.
hard out in about 20 or so minutes. So apologies if they're not as long as they previously were, but we want to get to all your super chats because this live is not ending till all of them are touched.
Yep.
All right. Aiden Padrid, congrats on
400K subs. Y'all deserve it. All the love from California. Also,
Go Niners. Oh, that's such a.
They're
Oh,
not
At least
bad.
we ran through them for a Super Bowl victory in '96.
Yeah, and then it's been a shellacking on our end ever since.
Just in the
But
playoffs.
nonetheless, but hey, thank you again. With any congrats that we get, that's a testament to all of you folks out there. You folks made it happen for us, and thank you for that.
All right. Hey, look at Anthony read our mind. Velasquez back again. If you do watch the Scary Movie series, check out
Yep.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Also, a bunch of references in the first Scary Movie.
Okay, so we've apparently,
We'll have to
or at
take
least
that journey.
we'll have to do a bunch of journeys before we get to Scary Movie. Otherwise, I assume it's not going to make
the first
the
one is
greatest
basically
sense.
spoofing that and Scream and some other like old school tropes that you would know from
Yep.
scary movies. Second one is more like poltergeisty. The third one is basically Signs, and then the fourth one is War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
Which I haven't seen. That
I haven't
one.
seen that one either.
Yeah.
Well, you need
Damn,
to.
we got a lot to watch.
You guys got to watch like War of the Worlds because like
Yeah,
it's like
it's on the list.
The guy basically like just does a Tom Cruise impersonation the whole movie, and it's great.
Is it the guy from Mad TV who does?
Yeah, he was
Tom
on Mad
Cruise?
TV and stuff
Okay.
like that, and he did a real good job.
Okay.
So.
Marie Ramgirl is back. Thank you for that. Quinn, can't tease you about your nerdiness now because your Quinn stinks were right about the level 3 enchanted sword in a recent horror movie reaction and love your nerd talk. Want more of it in the future, please. Hee hee. Thank you, Marie Ramgirl. I'm glad you,
Why are you
appreciated
encouraging
that.
him?
I'm glad you
Don't
appreciated
encourage
that.
Heck yeah, and you'll see what she's talking about
Yep.
soon enough.
Yeah, the rest of the chat we'll see.
Yep, you'll see.
Munku121, thank you so much for the super chat. If you liked Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, I think you would also like Merlin on BBC with Colin Morgan. Well, you
Yep,
have
I've
it down?
Write it down. We'll have to
I got it
investigate.
written down.
Investigate.
Yep.
Investigate.
Raven W.
Raven.
Ravens. All right, W with the super chat. Thank you so much for that. Congrats again on 400K subs. Love your reactions as usual. I'm the artist who made the Bad Titans artwork. Thank you so much.
There we go.
That was
Those were
awesome.
awesome. Check out our Instagram.
_ bad medicine, and you can see in our tag section of what Raven is mentioning here. Pretty good work.
Yeah,
so
that was awesome.
kudos to you.
If you
Kudos.
guys would like a physical version, please let me know. Appreciate you legends. Well, you're a legend for doing that work. It looked amazing, stunning.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to send over. We'll show it off somewhere.
Show it off. We'll definitely have it on live.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, you folks who have that talent to do that kind of artwork, I put that up there with like being able to sing or play an instrument because I just simply can't do those things at all. So it's like seeing magic happen in front of me. It's like David Copperfield or something.
Like when anyone can play, like, I play 4 instruments. How?
Right.
How the hell?
I can't even read music.
So, Rahul.
Raul, the super.
Dave Grohl can't either.
Any plans for watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners? I know
Eventually.
that's been recommended. I've
Yep,
seen that in the
there's
chat.
a lot of recommendations for that. It is on the list for sure.
Yep.
Tanya R with a super chat. Thank you so much for that. Congrats on 400K and hello from Melbourne. Would you guys consider a rewatch of the Jurassic Park movies and a lead up to the Jurassic World Rebirth?
That's honestly that might happen because I haven't seen Jurassic 3, but I have seen only the one with Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I saw
that's it.
I saw the first one and then I saw the one with Chris Pratt. But again, don't remember much of it.
I've seen Park 1 and 2. I believe I've seen 3, and then I've seen World 1 and 2, but not the third one or this Rebirth.
Yeah. So there's a good chance we just do a whole run through.
Might as well.
At least
Check
with
it
the
out.
first 2, I would not mind. Or the first World.
Yeah, I think well, anyways, first I just remember the stuff with Newman and again some of the iconic scenes, but the story would be
Hold on to your
all
butts.
fresh. Jake, I noticed Wednesday beat out 2 other shows that have more votes. Is it because season 2 is coming soon? Just curious on the factors on choosing.
So, like I said it was in our Patreon chat to a member. Though the recommendations and the upvotes and stuff like that is great to see what people are interested in. Of course, great to see the recommendations, but those votes don't replace polls and don't replace how we kind of do the system, which is, we kind of try to think of what's been done in the past. We don't just start fresh again because of the website, right? So we try to keep it a little bit of us, a little bit of you guys, and then a little bit of what's new. And yeah, season 2 is coming up, but that didn't really have any factor in it. It was between Wednesday and Reacher. So Wednesday, we kind of leaned on a little bit more because we're actually wanting to see both just as equal. But Wednesday ended up beating it out a little bit. So again, it's the upvotes do not replace any polls or anything like that. It's just a great way to see what you all are really interested in. And as you could see on there, we do lean on what you guys are interested in, but we can't lean on the dominated stuff because then it'd be all animation for the first like 10 things on there, I think it is, or whatever, or first 5 or whatever it is. So again, we lean back on that diversity of content of a little bit of K-drama, a little bit of anime, a little bit of Wednesday, for example. So hopefully that answers your question. We just try to keep it very a good variety for everybody.
Latino Chick 222 with the super chat. I would love to see you guys react to Downton Abbey and The Summer I Turned Pretty. They are more girly, but I loved your Twilight reactions. Also, where did Ready, Willing, and Able come from? Answer.
Real quick, I think Downton Abbey is on the list. I think it
But
is.
that's a really popular
I thought it was
series.
downtown.
No, it's Downton.
There's no W.
Well, you say that about quote unquote girly shows, but
Those are
how
some-
many movies and shows have we watched like that we've absolutely loved? Something that's totally out of our wheelhouse and we've really enjoyed it. So you never know.
Goes back to the whole that Ready, Willing, and Able just came about that one of the intros we were doing, and I was like, hey, I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to watch this, and it made Oak chuckle and whatever. So I was like, well, I'm going to keep that in. I like it, and it's fun to say.
Yep.
Thank you for your super.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, we're going to acknowledge Sensei.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you for your membership. We appreciate it. And you say congrats on 400K. Well, thank you for your support.
Being a member.
We appreciate it.
Colt Howard. That's a very American West name he's got there. Colt Howard.
He's taking over.
Sounds like
land.
he's a sheriff somewhere. Would y'all consider watching Tulsa King series?
Tulsa King really hasn't been recommended. So again, we never say never because who knows? Maybe one day we get bombarded. But right now we'll just say very low on the list because there hasn't been very many recommendations for it, Colt. But thank you for your super chat.
Yep, Sly's in that.
Smock member for 15 months.
Acknowledge me.
Yeet. Congrats on 400K. Very much deserved. Excited to hear that there may be some studio
Ghibli.
I hope that's right.
at some point. You guys are the best. Well, thank you.
We
guys
appreciate
are
it.
the
And thank
best.
you for your membership and support.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
you.
Mackenzie
15
O'Reilly
months.
is back. When are you dropping merch? Take my money. Also giving shout out to my favorite shows. Never Have I Ever. Mindy Kaling produced. And Ginny in Georgia. Mackenzie, as soon as I get to talk to the guy who's making the shirts, because right now I just need to make sure when you see a color of the shirt, that's the color you're getting. Because I'd hate to throw up a different shade of red and then you receive a different shade of red.
You're
So
like, hey,
that's
what's
kind of where
this?
we're at. It's just a matter of trying to get time with that gentleman. So hopefully this week I get that time. And then hopefully shortly after that, the new store is up and running. So I just want to make sure when you get the color that you see in the picture, that's the color you're getting. Because I would hate if I was doing that. And motherfucker, this isn't the
This is
car
what
I
I
ordered.
ordered.
You jet me.
This is not the car I ordered.
This is not the car I ordered. So soon, Mackenzie. Thank you.
All right, Max Thakur with the super chat. Hey, you guys, or hey guys, have you seen Breaking Bad?
You guys.
If yes, any favorite character? If no, then please give me a reason to binge it, watch it again with you guys.
We have absolutely
Are the
seen
best.
it.
We have all seen
All
it.
of us,
Yeah,
all
we've
four
all
of us.
seen it.
That was my epic binge.
Yep.
was
Yep.
that.
There's so many great characters on Breaking Bad. Just real quick, I'm gonna say Badger is one of my favorites, if nothing else, for his Star Trek story and that whole scene. If you haven't seen the animated version that somebody did of that on YouTube, it's a blast. So yeah, I like Badger. He's
It's
fun.
got to be Jesse, just because he says bitch. but for
Real
so many
high-
reasons,
real high bar there
real
for a
high
favorite
bar.
character.
No, just
answer.
because of this arc of his character and how he wasn't even supposed to even make it.
He wasn't supposed to make it past season one.
But he just crushed it, and Aaron Paul is Jesse, and it's perfect. And I thought he played it brilliantly, and that's saying a lot, especially when you had Bryan Cranston being Walter White. And like Quinn said, yeah, they all crushed it. They were all amazing in it.
As far as any favorite character, they were honestly all of them for me were fantastic. Every actress on screen crushed it. Everyone behind the camera crushed it. It is my number one show of all time. So I will talk highly of that no matter what. And again, we were talking the other day, real quick here. I know some folks hate the Fly episode in season 3. It is brilliant to me. So if you hate it, cool. If you enjoy it like Mason Quinn and I did, and you see the brilliance that's actually in the episode, hey, bravo to you.
You know, if the writers. All right, next. Lion Arc. Welcome to the Bad Metaverse.
Acknowledge me.
She acknowledged you. All right. Marie's Ramsgirl, thank you so much for the super chat. Well, actually,
Thank
just
you for the new membership,
For the
Lion.
member for 16 months.
Acknowledge me.
Marie.
He acknowledged you.
Acknowledge.
16 months well spent with you amazing guys, and just want to echo Quinn's Daddy likes it raw line, and the others' reactions was best and gave me cheeky giggles.
Yeah, you never know when those are going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny because we're like promoting the Daddy Likes It Raw for Severance. So hopefully, if you are watching this live and when that episode hits, you kind of remember back to all these comments of
live.
Daddy Likes It Raw.
Daddy.
Valeria Savadra, hope I got that right. Valeria?
Valeria.
Valaria.
I think it's Valeria,
Either way,
but I could be wrong.
Either way, it's a beautiful name. Hi, everybody. A big hug for all from Chile. Personally, I always expect Oak's opinion. That could possibly mean respect Oak's opinion.
Yep.
But either way, yeah, Oak's a lot of fun, and we like to give him,
We booted
we
him
like
out
to
of
give
here.
him
We
grief.
said, get out of this live, Oak.
We
Get
said,
out of here.
We said bye-bye.
Yeah, we said bye-bye.
PNC, thank you so much for a super chat. Appreciate it. You guys are my favorite reactors of all time. So incredibly entertaining. Someone is their fave. I don't know. Oak is their fave.
he's not here right now.
Anyways, when's the High School Musical marathon?
Again, we can't say when because we can never guarantee that, but it is on the list. So
Cannot wait for that ride. Seeing a young Zac Efron.
Absolutely.
young Zake.
Sarah Lima, thank you so much for the super chat. Oi from Brazil. You guys are funny, hardworking. All right, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for that. Thank you for that, Sarah.
To you in Brazil.
Love it.
This is Brazil.
This is Brazil. Goldie Snow. Do you know the Jumanji or Sing movies? If not, highly recommend them. Greetings from Germany.
I want to see the Sing ones.
So, Sing ones are on the list.
Nice.
Jumanji, Oak has stated, and I'm shocked that he hasn't seen the very first Jumanji, but he has seen the Rock Jumanjis. This guy has not seen the second Jumanji
of
with
The Rock.
Kevin Hart and The Rock. So those are on the list for everyone to finally
I've seen
see.
the original and then the first one.
I still don't know how he hasn't seen
I
the
don't know.
original.
I've seen all
Oak.
three at some point. Again, I don't remember much of the Robin Williams one because I saw it
journey.
probably around the time when it came out and
It's
never
epic.
watched it
and
since.
and for what they worked
It's
with
epic.
as far as CGI, it was amazing
Yep.
to watch that back in the day.
Thanks, Coldy.
Yep, thanks. you.
Lion Arc, who is a member though, but also another super chat. Thank you so much for that.
We just
I hope
answered this, actually.
28 days later, 28 weeks later, and 28 years later are on your list, guys.
Yep, we just said it a little bit ago, but just in case, they are on the list. I have not seen 28 Days Later. I have seen 28 Weeks, and then when 28 years later comes to streaming or video on demand, will be happening.
Yep. Jake, Diamond Dave, you might as well take this one from Jake.
Oh, Jake, how do the Uncuts, I can't say that, work from a copyright standpoint? I love that. It's so Jake, here on the live, you know, it's interesting. I can't get too much into this because who knows who's watching, listening. But folks, we do have an option. It's there, and I can't disclose
That's it.
anything here. But
That's
hey,
it.
yeah, hopefully you're seeing it on the screen. So Jake, sorry, just can't talk too much about it out loud into the stratosphere that is the internet. So, next question.
Amber.
You guys got me through my degree.
Oh, nice.
Big Hearts, Pan's Labyrinth.
I have not seen.
I have not seen that, but that is on the list. So.
Yep, I'm aware of it. I believe that's
Is that one with David Bowie?
No, that's Labyrinth. This is the one. Oh God darn it! What's his name, folks? You know, you got me on the spot. The director.
Isn't Bowie in that one?
That's what I just.
No, that's the other one. Pan's Labyrinth. It's a foreign film. The director, God, his name escapes me.
2006 movie.
2006. Oh yeah, it's
Guillermo del Toro.
Yes, Guillermo
is the
del
director.
Toro.
I knew I would get it, folks. I got it before he had it on screen. All right,
I
but
should have said it was Lars or James Hetfield.
James Hetfield.
well the screenplay and directed by GDT.
There you go. That's
There you
the
go.
easy way to remember it.
There you go.
Thank you for that, Amber. Yeah, I mean, if we get the
congratulations.
requests, and you folks want us to watch Pan's Labyrinth, I know there's been a few requests for it, so at some point.
And
And hey,
congratulations!
congrats on
getting
the degree. That's awesome. So I'm glad we were on the journey with you. We didn't even know. So congratulations, Amber.
Meg of the Wild, thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all are great. Your channel is a stress relief and comfort. Well, thank you for that.
We appreciate it, Meg of the Wild.
Rick appreciates it as well.
Thank you. No, we thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And
So thank you.
You guys just watching and supporting us is amazing to
Yep.
us, and we greatly appreciate it. We'll be here to help you get through the stress relief. And hey, like the one before you, a degree. So Tran Karang with a super chat. Thank you for that. Hello again from Vietnam. Did Oak back out yet?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's
gone.
He's done for the remainder of the
Yeah.
of the
the
stream here.
existence. No, I'm
Yep.
kidding. That was a bad medicine.
Thank you, Tren.
Thank you.
Michaela Juarez, y'all should play Baldur's Gate 3. Have a great day.
You have a great day. And thank you for your super.
Yep. Answer. I'm
Baldur's
not-
Gate 3 is on the list for answer. So that is on the list.
I've played 1 and 2 and Icewind Dale, but haven't played this one. It's totally different. Probably be in over my head, but you never know.
Never know.
Wolfie.
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 Oh, finally lost two.
Did.
Dog's name's Max.
React to Final Destination franchise. Love you 3. I have seen 1, 2, 3, and 4. Have not seen. I think I actually saw 5, but haven't seen the new one.
How many? Well, I haven't seen
There's
any,
5
but it is on the
originals and now
list.
this one.
Yeah, I haven't seen any, but they are on the list.
Yeah, I've seen one of them. I don't know which one it was.
I've definitely heard of them where it's these
they're
wild
awesome.
scenarios, but I haven't seen it. So.
They're good. They're good.
And Marie Ramgirl is back again. Thank you for that. Thanks for Woo! Thanks for a fantastic time as always. You guys are the best, and you'll be hitting 1 million subs in no time with your unique brand of entertainment and chemistry bond y'all have. And sounds of your laughter are a rush of endorphins for the soul. Much love. What a beautiful way to put it. Thank you for that, Marie. And hey, that's all up to the folks with when we get to 1 million and see Answer with a championship title, perhaps.
And the golden ticket of YouTube.
Yeah, and we appreciate all the support you've given us, Marie. So thank you.
Have been there for a
Again,
while
you've been super generous with everything, so really do
It all
appreciate it.
started from the gaming channel for you too, right? Yeah. Well, we're glad that you were able to catch up then in a hurry, and you keep following us and having fun with us. So I cannot wait to continue that in the future.
Jake is back. I know it's on the list, but you guys would love Shrinking. Harrison Ford and Jason Segel are fantastic. Brett Goldstein, he's everywhere. Roy Kent.
Yeah.
Show runs it. So
Nice.
yeah, he's part of it and he's
I
in it.
didn't know that he was a part of it. Man, that's awesome.
Wait, is he in it? I don't know, but I know he is part of the. He writes for the show, or
yeah,
created it.
well,
one of the
these
two.
guys
You
are-
guys let me know.
We
You guys
saw
seen
that in a
it.
couple episodes. He actually wrote up for Ted Lasso, so that's awesome.
Yep.
And I've seen in an interview that when they were trying to figure out who Roy Kent was, he's like, "Well, that's just me." So
Tran Karang is back again. So I would love you guys to react to Bake anime on Netflix and Nataru and Naruto Shippuden anime. I'll write those down because it's easier for me to write them than it is to say them.
maybe by the time we watch him, we'll know how to pronounce them.
Yeah, maybe we will. Who knows? Well,
we'll
we
investigate.
finally
It's on the
hit
list.
the end, folks. We do have a heart out, so we do appreciate all of you joining us during finally we get a daytime for us.
Yeah.
Live stream. So really do appreciate y'all spending time with us. Peanut Butter, I'll get to in a second here. Well, let's just get into it right now.
Peanut Butter White Smiles, thank you so much for the super chat. I just happened to start Full Metal Alchemist before finding out that you were starting it. Nice to be on the same journey as you.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're absolutely
perfect.
loving it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
The
cool.
animation in that is great, especially where it hits, and I jokingly always say it tickles all the senses in a lot of those episodes.
Well, and it is pretty cool too when we see folks like with the Glory, Full Metal, and some other shows or movies. Hey, we're watching for the first time too. So it's actually cool when folks are saying they're watching it for the first time with us.
Yeah.
So that's always a welcomed spot to be
Yeah,
into.
and Full Metal's a wild ride that we're on so far. I'm loving it. So yeah,
Well, again, thank you all.
Thank you, folks.
Because God knows you could have been doing something better today, not listening to us and actually doing your work or helping you pass your time at work, or if you're wherever you are. Thank you for being with us. And shout out to our mods,
thank you, mods.
Thank you,
Mia
Mods.
and Alana. We appreciate you taking your time and helping clean up some of the spam and everything that was going on in there. And to all of you again, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you all for supporting us, giving us the 400K. 500K is next, hopefully. If not, well, then we're happy at 400. It works. It
We're
works.
taking this world over.
Watch out for some of the challenges that are coming. You'll see the challenge championship be on the line in some of those. Well, pretty much all of them. And then
This could
hopefully,
be yours.
well, maybe.
Well,
You have to take part in the challenge.
Not really.
For
Answer
photo
is
op.
the worst at false
No,
advertising.
I said for if you let me, like Oak says, if you let me finish, I was gonna say it for a photo opportunity for about 10 minutes, and then it's coming.
If you'd like to take this home
you can't.
for a photo opportunity,
Yeah, we just watch out there for a second. A little disclaimer at the end for answer there.
having
But,
flashbacks of Nosferatu with this guy. He's coming up off the bed. A little more of a delay there, but nonetheless.
Rab sends in a quick super. Thank you very much, Rab. Thanks for keeping me sane in this insane world. Congrats on 400K. Well, no, thank you. You're right.
you.
We got an insane world. We got such a short, limited time of life, folks. Let's just have some fun with it. Granted, tons of craziness. So I know sometimes I say, let's have some fun with it. Sometimes it may be hard, but if we can have some moments with you all during this crazy time, it'll be fun, hopefully with all of us, and glad we could take part in that.
So there you
Wrap
have
it up,
it.
Answer.
There you have it. So for Mason Quinn, Diamond Dave, I'm of course the Answer. Good night now, pals. See you tomorrow on the Arcade Live. I was gonna say
Where you want to tell them where?
Bad Medicine Arcade.
It's another YouTube channel, folks.
It's our
We didn't
other
know.
YouTube channel, Bad Medicine Arcade. A lot of them already know, but hey, tomorrow noon at Central Standard Time, we'll be finishing our journey of Uncharted 4.
And Oak says bye-bye.
Yeah, Oak had to leave. He doesn't,
Like this.
us.
Oak was like this on the way out. Oak was like this on the way out.
Guys, relax. He had to go drive 15 and a 25.
Oh, T.O.
Teo.
Hey, we are back.
Teo
Hey,
with the
Teo.
super chat. Just slip that in there
got
underneath
it
the
in,
radar.
snuck her
I would
in.
love for you to react to the Big Lebowski. I've seen it.
I haven't.
Lots.
So, hey, there's a
haven't
chance.
seen it?
No, you guys keep quoting that. And I'm like, where's that from? You're like, Big Lebowski. I'm like, I
Oh.
don't fucking know where that's from.
Well,
So
get you a ton.
it could happen. It very well could happen, folks. So again, appreciate y'all. Bad medicine.
And Mia put it in the link in the comments for the arcade. There you have it.
Hey, see, look.
Perfect.
Look at that.
All you
Thank
have to do is
Thank
just.
you, Mia.
They got your back.
See you
got your
tomorrow. We'll see some of yours tomorrow's. No,
Just give it up,
no,
sir. You
that's
know,
mine.
you
That's
know,
mine.
you know, I'm gonna be holding this.
I'm coming
sucker.
back for that thing.
Looks good on me, doesn't it? Nah. Look at that.
We are still here. Gail, we didn't miss you.
Good evening.
We see you. We got your super chat here. We see you guys must do Wong Fu thanks for everything.
Two Wong Fu thanks for everything.
Julie Newmar. I've never even heard of it.
That's with it's with Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo, and Patrick Swayze, and they dress in drag. That's one where John talks about how Patrick and or how he and Wesley Snipes almost were getting into fights.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
on the set, yeah. He said it was highly entertaining. He's like, Patrick would just sit there and be like, "What are you guys doing?" Just because it was terrible. Because John was young and dumb, is what he always said too.
We'll investigate. Can't promise anything, but we'll investigate. Really appreciate it, Gail. Thank you all again. I know you're probably sick of me saying that, but thank you all. We really do appreciate it because, again, time matters. Your time matters. So thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Love you all. See you soon.
Good night.
Yeah. Now you guys are doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
Deem with a super. Mason looks like Simon Cowell. Alrighty, bye.
Yeah, all right. Bye.
Well, I guess you could, with the white shirt.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it.
And having an old man syndrome. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.